first of all, I don't that term sounds a little it might offend some people, but I crossbred with a Dutch lady. That's why my kids are like tall, like
No, I don't mean ethnicities. I mean alien race and human race.
But no, you were just saying that his wife might be an alien.
No.
I think a lot of this stuff is striking a little too close to home for Jerry. That much is clear. I think you're hey, when you're getting flack, that means you're over all the right targets, Dante.
You know what? Maybe later tonight I'll swab my wife and see if she's a secretor and send it over to Dante. We could do a test.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday. It's May 28th, and today's episode is brought to you by our great friends over at Shady Rays. Quick question. How are these Shady Rays basically the same quality as the $200 sunglasses that I used to buy? I'm not exaggerating. They feel every bit as premium. They're great sunglasses. I just recently stocked up on a whole bunch of Shady Rays for the summer. I got some aviators, some no-tangle aviators, which are great. If you got long hair, I highly recommend the no-tangle. They are actually no-tangle. There's nothing worse than putting on like a pair of aviators. You try to take them off. The little nose pads get caught in your hair. Then you're pulling your hair. Not with the Shady Rays, and they've got some great polarized sunglasses as well. I'm rocking the Shady Rays everywhere. On the lake, on the boat, at the game, on the job site. If you lose them, if you break them, they replace them. Matter of fact, I am the king of leaving sunglasses on airplanes. I left a pair of sunglasses on an airplane last weekend. I did it. I was flying back from Washington, D.C., and I left them on the plane, hit up Shady Rays. They're sending me a brand new pair because that's what they do. If you lose them, if you break them, they take care of it for you. They've got durable frames, great hinges, and they look sharp without trying too hard. So go to shadyrays.com, grab a pair, get sunglasses with lost and broken protection. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com, use code MACRO, get 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. ShadyRays.com, promo code MACRO, get 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Now it's time for Macrodosing. Okay, welcome back to Macrodosing. It's a very special edition of Macrodosing. I'm super excited. I can't believe we haven't done this yet. We have a bromance that's been budding for the last several weeks. And it's just two guys that are kind of, I think, like in that infatuation period with each other. It's Dante the Don and Jerry O'Connell, and Jerry's recording this outside. But it's some road by his house with his classic car that he likes to use as a backdrop for some interviews from time to time. But it's good to see you, Jerry, and I'm glad that we could finally get you two together here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, I said this on your other podcast, on that other podcast, that I believe Dante is literally the most interesting man in the world, and he's got some out there ideas and theories that I sort of question a little bit. I'll tell you also where this is coming from. I have a family member, not going to say who, trying to keep the family intact, who last holiday we were seated next to each other at a table. It was hot. There was family all over the place, and this family member said to me, just out of the blue, we were talking about something, and they said, yeah, well, that's bullshit. It's like the moon landing. It's a bunch of bullshit. I sort of laughed, and I could tell they were serious. And this is a close family member. And I said, you're kidding, right? About the moon landing. And he said, no, man, it never happened. It was fake. It was a government operation.
Look up the Van Allen radiation belt, Jerry.
The Van Allen radiation belt?
Mm-hmm. Dante will tell you about it.
Yeah, see, this is where it gets a little crazy, guys. That's something that the internet made up. And it's sort of my job here to make sure that, sorry?
No, I agree that it gets crazy, but for the opposite reason. Because there's such a thing as it. Yeah.
Because sometimes the truth just sounds crazy.
Yes.
It's almost like too true.
Stranger than fiction.
It's crazy how true it is.
Before we get into this, Jerry, I got a question for you. By the way, I'm not just saying this to pump your tires. You look amazing. You look like you're
thanks.
on a modeling shoot right now.
I do want to warn Jerry just very quickly. Jared, we don't go as long as we used to on this show. We've had some 4-hour episodes, but we go a little long. I don't know if you wanted to get a little more comfortable or how you're going to work on that, but we go a little while.
We're not planning on 4 hours. By the way, have you guys have met before, right? Big T?
We've had a brief interaction or two,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, Jerry, Big T, and then we also have Mad Dog and McKenzie. They're producing. So just making sure you got the lay of the land here.
They're great. They're all great.
You look sick as hell.
You
I
do
just
look awesome.
want to make sure that you'll be comfortable for an hour or two.
We don't got to go for 2 hours. We don't got to go for. But if you got like an hour and a half, I think that would be plenty. Is that cool?
I don't think I could be more comfortable. This is like me and my element.
Perfect.
I love that.
All right, perfect.
All right, that said,
You look cool as hell.
You do.
that said, I gotta ask why you are where you are right now. Are you ashamed or afraid to be in your house talking about this stuff? Is that why you're like down the street? Is this like what my friend does when he has to make a phone call that he doesn't want his wife to hear? He like says he's going out to get something and he drives around. Is that what this is?
Dante, I gotta say you're very astute. I am down the street from my house. My spouse is currently in my house. I don't have like a home office or something. I have a little closet area where I do a lot of my fantasy football work. But I didn't want to sit in the closet for this. Yeah, I drive about less than a mile away from my house with a cell service. I'm directly under a cell tower right now. I'm sure you have some sort of theory about that. I'm okay with the 5G hitting me. I don't think it causes COVID.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's a whole nother.
Dude, I gotta admit.
It's not that it causes COVID. It's that if you get the jab and you're around 5G, it'll send signals to the nanobots that are in your blood to like reactivate. That's what we're. You're being intentionally obtuse, Jerry.
I'm not on board with that one either, Jared. Don't worry. I don't believe in everything.
Did you get the jab, Dante?
Yeah, I did. Sadly.
How many times?
Just once. And you know what sucks? I waited until the very, very end and I caved. My ex pressured me into it, and I had to go to Italy, and Europe wasn't letting anyone in without it. So I got it, and then like a month later, they were like, we don't care about that anymore. It's over. So disappointed in myself.
You should have just Kyrie'd it. Should have just Aaroned it. Just waited until. So
what I was saying is when we were in Vegas and you were talking about the live show, I thought you were full of it when you were telling these guys on PMT that your wife had no idea who they were, who these people were. Mm-hmm. I thought you were just playing that up, and then I heard from everybody that was at the show that she was legit like, who are these people?
Yeah, no.
It was great.
So you live like a double life.
Yeah, except my lovers are, barstool. Like I mean, honestly, like my lover should be like a young Italian woman who, English is her third language. It shouldn't be like coming on macrodosing and talking about you, whether like the nanobots are talking to me through this 5G tower that I'm looking at. I should be with a hot young chick. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah. This is a very sad period of adultery for you in your life. It's like, I'm going to go talk to Dante.
Yeah,
my buddy Dante.
My other lover is Dante and Big T.
Yeah, Nikki Smokes. That actually you and Nikki Smokes might actually fall in love with each other if you spend too much time around each other. He's got game. He's got game for days. I was hoping that we could pick up a little bit. Dante mentioned, the experience in Vegas that we shared together. That dinner where I think that's when it became like officially official that Jerry, you loved Dante. You thought he was very interesting. There was one moment at that dinner where I think it really got. It was almost like you were teasing him, which is very cute to watch. We were talking about Epstein, and then Dante asked you what you thought about Epstein. You're like, I think he just killed himself. And you knew what you were doing with that. And Dante like started responding. It was a nice little back and forth. I could see you like just kind of like needling him a little bit. Dante was falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. So we could either start there, or we could dive into something else entirely, or I don't know. I want you guys to get in something you're passionate about.
We could start there.
Let's just start there. Let me just say my piece, and then I'm sure Dante has an opinion on this.
All right.
I wasn't saying it to needle him. Epstein came up, as he often does in conversations.
Dinner conversation, yeah.
Bachelor parties.
Yeah, just dinner conversations. Can you pass the cream spinach? I think Epstein killed himself. I think when you start getting into the internet and missing footage and surveillance footage, and you start getting into things that security guards purchased right after or right before Mr. Epstein's death. I mean, we all agree Epstein was a monster. We agree on that, right? A child molesting monster.
Mm-hmm. Bad guy.
I just heard one person say bad guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you need the exit row. He needs a verbal yes.
Verbal, yes.
Yeah.
Nothing for Mad Dog, but
very bad guy.
Okay, I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to mansplain Epstein. But Mad Dog confirms.
Yeah.
Bad guy. We hear you. Mackenzie, do you also confirm? Yeah. Mackenzie confirms bad guy too, so we're all in agreement. Yeah. Bad guy.
Okay. Bad guy, great. I think he just killed him. Oh, this is what happened. The suicide note had just come out when we went on that bachelor party. And well, yes, I'll agree the finding of the suicide note years later in a book was suspect. I think the guy just killed himself. I think that other guy, Jean-Luc Brunel, the other modeling agent who he was in cahoots with, killed himself. I just think these guys killed themselves. I look, is everyone familiar with Occam's razor?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Dante?
Basically,
yes. The most probable.
The simplest explanation is usually the correct one.
Yes.
Great. Occam's razor, the guy killed himself. Dante, I give you the floor.
I'd like to push back.
I would posit that's not the simplest explanation.
I would also posit that nothing about Jeffrey Epstein was simple. There was nothing about this guy's life that was anything like your life or my life or anyone that you know. The guy was quite literally maybe the most connected person in the world when it came to world leaders, different intelligence services, powerful financiers, a lot of people with lots and lots and lots of money, people that ran in the underworld. The guy had his hand in, it seems like, everything if you've read the contacts that he's had.
Fantastic point.
And so I would say that nothing about Jeffrey Epstein is a simple explanation. But I'll let Dante respond. I just want to interject. This is supposed to be about Dante and Jerry.
So my question for you is, and this is, I mean, no offense whatsoever, I can't tell when you're being serious and when you're like kind of
a great actor
being sly. Yeah, you're an amazing actor.
I'm being serious.
Okay. So I don't even know where to start with this because I feel like
start at the beginning.
I feel like you're way too smart to truly believe what you just said. And I know how condescending that sounds. I feel like an
that's
asshole
like the
for saying
meanest
that.
thing you can say.
I know. I feel like an asshole for saying that.
No. Hey, Dante, no. Nothing you say will offend me, and I mean that. That's actually a serious statement here.
Okay,
Nothing you say can offend me.
I'm
actually looking forward to hearing what you have to say because I'm looking forward to debunking it.
So, like PFT just said, I mean, nothing about this guy's entire life makes a modicum of sense. From the part where you pick up where he got fired from a public school teaching job and then all of a sudden is managing, basically today's equivalent of a hedge fund.
Sure.
He just goes literally from obscurity to Wall Street elite status.
It's even a little bit crazy in that because he went from nothing. He got hired by, it was a private school in New York, and the guy that ran the school was Bill Barr, the former attorney general, was his father. His father ran it and hired Epstein out of nowhere. And then from there, he got plunked to, be a hedge fund manager. Yep.
Yeah, and then from there, he's, rubbing shoulders or rubbing elbows with literally everybody that's, in Washington, London, power brokers all around Europe.
It was
Asia.
an elite private school. I believe it was the Dalton School, which I'm from New York. I mean, I didn't even come close to being able to get in or even even afford it. But you're rubbing elbows with pretty important people if you're going to one of, if not the most prestigious private school in New York. But continue.
So, Jerry, like I also am not from that world. I know enough people who are close to it, though, and like I do, that is not a easy club to infiltrate. And
No.
if you are not like blue blood, like you can't just crack into that. So the fact that he comes from out of nowhere, he doesn't have wealthy parents, wealthy grandparents. He doesn't have, it's basically like the Great Gatsby. Like he fakes his way into these circles, and then all of a sudden he gains all this power and leverage. It just makes zero sense.
100%. There's no doubts that the guy had the gift of gab, and he was a shyster. He was a smooth criminal. He was able to talk his way into situations. I mean, listen, I watched a documentary on him. He basically managed that super wealthy guy who owned the Limiteds, ran his finances, who made money actually selling products, actually starting fast fashion, actually selling something.
Right,
So,
but do you think that a guy that successful and that wealthy is going to tap a guy with no, he didn't even have an MBA. You think he's going to tap him and give him power of attorney over all his finances? And
Dante, I don't want you and I getting sued immediately, but they had a weird relationship. Okay.
Yes.
And when I say weird, I mean like look at my eyes.
Yes. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
They had a strange relationship. Older dude, younger guy.
Right.
There's some weird stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm. I also
And
think
by the
that
way, I want to see when we're brought into court for saying this. I want to see them like, I'm not saying, I just want to let the jury know I'm not saying anything. I'm just going like this. They had a strange relationship, guys like us, Dante, could never understand.
Agreed.
So he gets to a point where he's the most connected, one of the most powerful people in the world in terms of who he knows, who's in his Rolodex. Here's Jerry, why I don't think that he killed himself, is because the man spent his entire life building up books of blackmail on all of his enemies. It was very important to him to have everything documented, and not even his enemies, his friends. He had lots of blackmail on his friends. Know that? Yeah, there were cameras that were in all the rooms in his townhouse, or cameras all over that house.
I have it's not operating right now. I mean, I don't want the bad guys to know that, but I have 3 cameras in my house, none of which work. But
he had nanny cam, cams, all
a little
over.
Different than having a security system when he's got massage rooms with old guys getting jacked off left and right, and he's got it all on tape. What he obviously has that for a reason.
So did Bubba the Love Sponge. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, people have cameras in their house. I don't have a camera like in my bedroom or anything. I mean, not that anything is like worth seeing in there. It's just us watching Summer House reunions and saying things like, "Don't touch me, your foot is touching me." But like people have cameras in their houses,
I think that's a little bit different though than if you're Epstein. You've got lots of illicit activities going on, and I don't think that my guess is he probably didn't use them all the time to be like, "Hey, I know you're thinking about doing this. Just remember, I got this video of you getting jacked off by a 13-year-old, so I want to do that." I think that Jeffrey Epstein mostly brought people into his universe, had them at parties where there were some questionable, illicit, illegal things going on, and it was understood that everyone kind of knew everyone's business, and so that made that he didn't have to threaten blackmail because he just knew. You would just know that Jeffrey Epstein knows bad things about you. So you don't even have to verbalize all the time. But a guy, my point is that a guy that spends his whole life like networking via blackmail and via extortion and having these same kinds of connections, that is a man that's got very, very powerful friends and very, very powerful enemies as well. And I don't think that that's somebody that would end up killing themselves before they got to put all the stuff that they had built up in case of emergency to use in the public eye. I think he had some backup plans and then backup plans to backup plans. And here's a safe and here's how you get into the safe in case anything happens. I think he had all this stuff ready to go. And I don't think a guy like that hangs himself.
And it was documented. Yeah. When they raided that New York townhouse, they emptied those safes. There's pictures of that safe empty with stacks of CD-ROMs, stacks of Polaroids, and none of those have seen the light of day or ever will.
So
I guess my point is I don't think a guy like that hangs
himself. Is the stuff on the you mean the stuff on the CD-ROMs? I have to break out my Dell from 2000 and put it in there and like see what's on there.
I mean, this is when he was doing all this stuff, was the 90s and 2000s.
Jerry, I got an MRI 2 weeks ago on my hamstring, and they gave me the results on an MRI, the MRI on a CD-ROM, and then I was just like, okay, what do I do with this? I got in touch with like every producer at Barstool Sports. I was like, hey, do you have a computer that's got a CD-ROM? And they're like, nope, sure don't.
Yeah, they don't even make them anymore.
I have a Dell at my house that I haven't plugged in a few decades in case Dante comes over with the Epstein CD-ROMs. We're going to fire up the old Dell. We're going to see
so I'm
juicy porn from LimeWire.
So, all right, so that's part one. Part two or part 15 of this is the fact that they talked to his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, who says there's no way he killed himself. He was murdered. They talked to his brother, who talked to him almost daily.
So did Ghislaine? Did Ghislaine say he was? That's something that Ghislaine has said.
Yes, she said that she believes he was murdered. His brother said there's no way he would kill himself.
I didn't know that Ghislaine. Obviously, Ghislaine and he had a very close relationship. I didn't know that Ghislaine said that.
She said, I do not believe he died by suicide.
His brother said there's no way he would kill himself. And
yeah, listen, and I realize that loss in a family is like tough, but like I could see a brother saying there's no way my family member committed suicide.
But he
Ghislaine
said
Maxwell. I didn't know that Ghislaine Maxwell said that. All right. You piqued my interest.
Okay, he said it for reasons that a psychotherapist would say it, though not that a family member would say it. He said that he was too much of an egomaniac to do something like that, which I think plays into PFT's sense. I mean, this is a guy who got a federal indictment basically wiped off in, I think, 1991 by what's his name in Florida, the Florida AG.
No, I know.
He walks free and then goes right back to business and actually goes even harder than he was before.
I'm going to tell you guys right now.
Turns the island into Club Med.
I did not know that Ghislaine Maxwell said that. I am
all right. I don't think that's like the big smoking gun though. I'm just
I love this. I love that Dante's made a point that might be convincing Jerry, and now Dante's like, I don't want to talk.
That's not even all I got.
Yeah, that's not even.
But here's the thing. So you're saying someone came into that cell and strangled that man?
Absolutely, and the independent autopsy confirms it. The third party autopsy, what do they call it? What do they call a doctor that performs
Independent
Corner.
Independent
Corner.
coroner.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that word.
Mm.
Said that it showed all the signs of strangulation. I mean, there were bones in his neck broken. The bruise marks were from hands, not from a paper sheet. And yeah, and then you go into the whole, okay, cameras mysteriously go down, we're told, and then fast forward 5 years. Oh no, the cameras weren't down. We actually have the footage. We're going to put it out. Kash Patel puts it out. Oh, there's an hour missing. Okay, so what? That doesn't raise any red flags. Then
I'm not going to name names. Do you think that certain people pretty high up know whether he was murdered or committed suicide and are not saying it?
Oh, I think that there's no doubt about it. And
Don't say a
listen,
name. Let's not get canceled before we
Jerry,
start.
Jerry, I'm at the point now where I am not even positive he's dead.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Jerry.
You've been seeing the guy walking around?
No, I don't think
saw
he's.
that
I don't
one.
think he's. I don't think he's dumb enough to be. I don't think he's like Woody Bulger hanging out in Florida.
You know what?
But
you look at Jerry right
I
now.
think
Jerry's nervous.
I think there's
he's
a
nervous
very
that you're getting too close to the truth.
I think there's very.
Jerry went to a Diddy party. He's connected with some of these same guys, and I think that you've hit something here, Dante. And Jerry's like, we can't do this anymore.
No, I think that
Have a couple Diddy
there's
guys
a
on this show.
possibility that they snuck him out and that body wasn't even his.
Well, they had a plan. Remember, they had a plan to sneak out a fake body.
There was a plan, Jerry. This is real.
To get the media. Jerry, this 100%. They've confirmed this. This is in the papers. They had a plan to sneak out a fake body to lure the media so that they could get his real body out.
Guys, this is the problem with like where you guys are.
He thinks we're
You
joking.
can't-
Tell him, Eric. Tell him.
You can't just stop at maybe he was murdered, which is like really far-fetched. You can't just stop there. You have to take it to he wasn't murdered at all. He smuggled his body out of the building. You
All right, so
guys,
Jerry,
Tell him about the body, PFT.
Jerry, I got to tell you this. And I know what you're saying. Things tend to snowball here. But and this is serious, Jerry. There was a plan in place to wheel a fake body out of the jail to divert attention from the media. There was a memo that you can look up online between a jail supervisor at the MCC and the FBI. So it's in the files. And they had a plan to deal with a large media presence that might show up once Epstein's death became public. And the idea was to wheel a fake body out of there. That is an actual thing that's in the files.
Of
Okay.
course,
I want to let you know.
We all saw that magic movie. What is it? Now You See Me, Now You Don't, or whatever it is. Like, look over here, look over here. Yeah, I mean, I can understand not wanting to, like, just. By the way, I was about to say God rest his soul, but I mean, it's Epstein. Who gives a shit? Like the body's covered. It's a body bag. Like you could put potatoes in a body bag. Like who cares? But it wasn't to wheel out his living body to smuggle it out so he can wake up in. Oh, don't make me say it. Somewhere in the Middle East, like guys, you're going too far. Stop.
This show's going to be incredible.
Listen, I think at the end of the day, we're talking about a guy who was on such a high level. We don't even know. Like we're so in the dark about what level this guy was on and operated and the people that he knew and was connected to that we can't even fathom. Like I'm trying to equate it to something like you would say, like it's beyond like you yelling at your daughters and your daughters being like, fuck off. I'm going to go talk to mom and mom won't care about it. It's like getting in trouble at school, getting sent to the principal's office and, knowing like your mom's banging the superintendent, just being like, yeah, I don't care what the fucking principal says. The superintendent's going to do whatever I tell him to because, he wants to fuck my mom. It's on that level where I feel like the state of New York judicial system, Epstein was like, what the fuck am I doing here? When are you getting me out of here? This is a joke. Get me the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. The FBI meant nothing to him. I feel like the people that really pulled the strings, and he either got whacked or he's off living somewhere with some pretty good plastic surgery and a witness protection program that's on steroids.
Were
Were you saying my wife is fucking the superintendent?
No.
Unpack that analogy.
I'm trying to make a metaphor. A shitty job.
Hey, but Dante, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind, and this is the honest to God's truth. You can look it up right now. Dante, are you ready to have your fucking mind blown?
Always.
So my daughters told me this in a diner late night after a volleyball competition. And this is why I don't do these podcasts in my house. My wife is in the Epstein files 4 times. Yeah.
See, I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not.
Well, somebody look it up. You have producers there.
All right. Now, I don't want to offend you, but
So,
that
my
doesn't
wife-
surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Dude, he was he wanted to clone Britney Spears, right? Did you read that
Come
part?
on, Dante.
Bro,
Dante,
did you
come
read
on.
that? These are
Dante,
his
that's-
words. His words. The guy was a eugenics freak.
Would what about the semen thing? Is that true?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Zorro Ranch was a laboratory. How about they were going to dig that up and excavate all that, the guy who bought it, right? There's been no talk about that in a month. That went away very quickly.
I don't want to gross everybody out, but sometimes, you release fluids from your body and you look at it, I'm not going to say you keep it, but you do look at it,
Okay, I found.
I have 3 hits of Rebecca Romaine in the Epstein
I found one right
files.
here. Listed description: world-renowned marketing entrepreneur Jean-Luc Brunel opened.
My wife's former modeling agent.
No
yeah.
way.
Having discovered faces such as Christy Turlington and molded the careers of celebrities such as Sharon Stone, Rebecca Romaine, Estella Warren, Mila Jovovich, Monica Bellucci, and Jerry Hall, Jean-Luc started the high-profile MC2 model management to represent high-fashion models in a boutique agency setting.
That is a murderer's row of names.
He
I'm
just
not going to lie.
He just killed himself. I don't think he killed anybody else.
Now, he was the agent who was affiliated with Epstein, obviously doing terrible things. We all agree they're all monsters, right, everyone?
Yes,
Bad
they are
people,
all
yeah.
monsters.
Monsters.
Dante didn't say it.
The biggest
But
monster.
they were very, you're right. They were very high connected. Okay, Dante, I'll give you this in this round. There's a possibility he was murdered. I didn't realize that Ghislaine piece of information. I will not give you he's alive somewhere and his live body was funneled out of that building.
Okay.
Look at that, though.
Okay.
Let's go to the
I
next
think that's a
one.
win.
Come on.
Okay, go on to
For
the next one.
Dante.
Okay.
Jerry, I do want to give you 2 minutes to voice your opinions on Henry Lockwood and the interview with Kellen Moore, because I don't think that you were able to really get everything out that you wanted to in your 7-minute interview that you did with TMZ about Hank farting last week. So if there's anything else that you need to add, I want to open the floor. This show's about the First Amendment, so we want to let you speak your mind.
I mean, the guy definitely farted in the middle of an interview. I get it. He's on a road trip. Your digestive system is weird. When we went on our bachelor party, my digestive system was weird.
Mhm.
But, there's ways to not emit gases loudly. You just sort of hold, you let a little bit out. It's like a balloon. You can make a balloon go
Yep.
or you can make a balloon just go and I don't know. I think the guy just shows a lack of respect for head coaches in the NFL and how difficult that is, and people giving their time to you guys. It was just a lack of respect, and he's not owning it. I mean, accountability for me is
Uh-huh.
the first thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
we always say that about you. Yeah.
Just like make amends, move on. That's how you move on. This is America. Everyone's into second chances.
You didn't mention
All right.
the fact that it took place at the Pelicans/Saints facility. They're right next to each other. You didn't bring that part up. You didn't bring up the size and shape of the chair that he was sitting in, which he has been extensively documented. And you didn't bring up the fact that he moved his legs, and it wasn't a fart. It was air that got pushed out when he moved his legs. It got pushed out because it kind of squoze at a
Out
weird
of his
angle.
anus?
Yeah, through his butt. Yeah, there was air that was. It was
All right. So
It was
all right,
it was
we
it
won't
was
call it fart.
repressurizing.
We will-
So the
we will
inside
call
of his anus, there was air that was under pressure, and then the equilibrium air has a tendency to seek equilibrium if the outside air pressure is lower. It went through his sphincter, and it made a noise, but it was not a fart.
All right. So we'll call it a butt queef. You know what? I want to stop talking. This isn't about Hank Lockwood. This is about
Okay.
Dante. I want to get back to my man Dante.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you had enough time to.
No more Hank Lockwood.
Okay.
Celtics are gone. No one cares. Next topic.
Okay, big topic that Dante sent over.
Hold on. I should have prefaced the Epstein thing with this. I want everybody to know, and I don't want this to get edited out. Just because I discuss these things does not mean that I believe them. I try to explain this to people all the time. Just because I know about these theories does not mean that I believe them.
You're just asking questions.
Exactly.
Okay.
I am of the mindset that I think to just take something as fact at face value because that's what it's always been, that's what we've always been told.
Okay.
I think that
Thank you.
is a
Thank you.
disservice.
Thank you for clearing that up, Dante.
Right.
I just also, since we're clearing things up, my wife, when my wife went to Epstein Island, I believe there's a name for it, like
Little St. James.
Saint Hades. When my wife went there, my wife was modeling for Victoria's Secret, supermodel. Look it up. And because of Epstein's relationship with that older dude, the older dude owned Victoria's Secret and therefore would rent out Little St. Hades for Victoria's Secret modeling shoots. So my wife was going there for modeling shoots. And that's why my wife is in the Epstein files, is because my wife was going there to work. No interaction with
Good to know.
Mr. Epstein, none whatsoever. Didn't see any shenanigans. Do want to say early on when all this was coming out, when my wife did say when we were watching a documentary, I'd met this guy and then found out one of her model friends was actually dating him. And in a text exchange, I saw, yeah, I went out with him. Can you believe that? And my wife met him at a dinner one night. And my wife told me about the interaction that they had, but I will let my wife tell that on next week's Macrodosing. We'll bring her
Okay,
on,
she
see if
is invited.
she'll bring her car down here and sit on the Zoom with you guys for 90 minutes.
Any of your wife's friends single? Not friends, coworkers.
What? Wait. Wait.
Yeah,
Not friends.
Dante, are you single these days? Dante?
Yeah. Why do you think I'm asking?
Hey, Dante, you're a catch. I know. But listen, I'm out here in Calabasas. A lot of the ladies I know are like moms who are newly single. So you got to deal with like stepkids and everything. You okay with all that?
I'm great with kids. I love kids.
Actually, Dante, I'm not kidding. You would be a great father, and I'm just saying that from the 3 days that I spent with you. You
Thank
would be
you.
really, you'd be a good
Thank
father.
you. I'm a great godfather to two of my friends' kids, and I'm a mentor for big brothers, big sisters.
Yeah.
I'm great
Hey, you
with
know what?
kids.
Why don't you start to save some of your cum in a laboratory in New Mexico, and then you can have all the kids you want. Ow!
True story.
All right, topic number 2.
Cut that part out.
Topic number 2, 23andMe bankruptcy data sale. And also, this is my favorite part of the list of topics that Dante sent over. The 23andMe bloodlines in the news, alien bloodline sidebar. I'm more interested in the sidebar than I am in the rest of it. But let's just start with the 23andMe CIA bloodlines in the news bankruptcy data sale.
You know what?
Dante.
I don't know anything about this. Dante, please explain it to us.
Oh, this one. See, they're all so touchy that I'm just stating not even facts. I'm just stating things that
Things
have been
that you for sure believe.
Things that could be true.
No, things
possibly.
that could be true. Thank you.
Okay.
I do not.
Could the official narrative be true?
I do not believe this necessarily. I've heard it, and I think it's worth considering. 23andMe, Ancestry.com, as everyone knows, 10 years or so ago, did this big DNA test kit thing where you swab the inside of your mouth, send it back to them.
Find out where you are.
Yeah.
Dante can find out which part of the motherland he's from.
Which to me is kind of bonkers how they did that, but whatever. They're scientists. I'm not. So they would send back these results, and again, I don't believe this, but there was a high return rate of Ashkenazi Jews.
Okay.
For a lot of
Nothing
people.
wrong-
A lot of
wrong with
people
that.
that had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a few years, 23andMe goes under, and in part of their bankruptcy filings, they decide that they're going to sell off all that data to liquidate assets, and they don't even tell their customers. They like floated it out in a press release or something. And they said basically, if you don't want your data sold or shared, you have to contact us so-and-so before so-and-so date. A lot of people didn't know that. So a lot of this DNA data got leaked, people against their consent. They don't know who it got leaked to or where it got leaked to. Fast forward again to this past week, and it's in the news that now that, the government is on board with these extraterrestrials visiting Earth and saying that, there's 4 species that have been documented here. And
I didn't see that story. Tell us about that story, Dante.
so there's supposedly 4 species of alien life that has either visited Earth or has been living here amongst us for a long period of time.
How long is it long? Are we talking like the 90s? Were they here like
some people are thinking they predate us, predate history, and that's like pyramids, Egyptians, like ancient civilizations we're talking. So these peoples are the reptilians, the Greys. Jerry, I'm not Jerry.
Listen.
Jerry, I'm not reading this off like a Reddit forum. This is in the news.
I didn't.
They've admitted this.
Dante,
There's congressmen. There's congressmen talking about
Tim
this.
Burchett, real one. I want him on this show bad.
Yes.
Rogan beat us.
Like I'm not. I know I sound crazy. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I got to tell you, when I hear reptilian people, it makes me think of another guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to mention.
But so here's the one that really sticks out, and this was a new one to me. They're called the Nordics, and
I've heard of them.
They're real people, but these version are basically 7 to 8 foot tall, like Swedes, like pale, blonde hair, blue eyed, just jacked like Vikings.
Do they walk amongst us?
Giants. So this race,
Wait, is it like Boban or like who?
I don't know.
Who are we talking here?
I don't know, but this is how it ties into this whole thing.
Holland.
So supposedly the CIA has been scouring through these DNA files. I have another thing that Big T is gonna love this after about with the COVID jab, but they've been scouring through all these DNA files trying to find bloodlines because they believe that the Nordics have mixed with humans along the way or over the years, and they're trying to track down these people.
All right. Well, listen, I will say I never did the 23andMe thing because I thought it was a little weird.
Smart.
And to be honest, I didn't want to find out that my parents weren't my parents. That's really what I didn't want to find out. So I like my parents. I love my parents. They're still with us. Thank goodness. So I didn't do this 23andMe because the scary thing was you find out your neighbor is your dad, you know?
Mhm.
But who gives a shit, Dante, if I took it and they find out I'm a little Ashkenazi or I'm Italian, I'm Polish or Nordic, and they sell it? I don't give a shit. Like I am who I am. Why is that a big deal?
Again, I don't care. I'm just explaining.
I think it's reasonable to say that you don't want your DNA to be sold to some company that has nothing to do with you, that you didn't initially like go into business with or sign a contract with.
Totally agree with you. I would say that was a very foreseeable thing that could happen.
Yeah.
If you're on the record, it's like giving your fingerprint or letting the TSA take your. Oh, by the way, I went to the TSA the other day. I was in the line and someone said, I'm not doing the face scan. It was like a whole thing and they had to go off to the side. It was pretty nutty. But it's like anything else. I mean, isn't it like every time you let something scan your face, isn't that it? Like you're in the system?
Yeah,
So, like,
I guess with your DNA, the worry would be that a company that, a company you have no idea even exists ends up buying your DNA. Then they could use it for nefarious purposes, and you would have no idea.
What nefarious purposes could they use to find out that I'm Polish and from Northern Italy? What the fuck do I care?
Well, they got your DNA, so a company could clone you without your knowing. Or they could create like embryos, and they could. Jerry, you've seen Jurassic Park.
I think there was
the
also
show business.
worries. I think there was also worries about like insurance companies obtaining it and seeing if you're, predisposed to cancer or predisposed to certain diseases. There's people that are legit crazy that have really strong feelings and strong theories about
like
what can be done
if you
with
go
this
get
data.
health insurance, don't you have to give blood and everything? I mean, like they're gonna know like everything anyway. I mean, like listen, if I owned an insurance company, wouldn't you be able to set rates based on like all the information that you have? Like,
Yeah, I think it's going to get there eventually, but
they don't currently look at your DNA and say, oh, this person has a 60% chance of developing colon cancer, and then they reject you or your premium's higher. Like that stuff doesn't happen. Now they don't look at your DNA to analyze stuff. Actually, Jerry, so this is interesting. We had a partnership. I think it was with 23andMe. Like back in 2016, 2017, I sent away my DNA and they wrote back to me and they go, yeah, there's not enough DNA in the sample that you sent. Can you send another? So I fill up the tube with my spit again. I send it away. Still nothing. They're like, can you send it one more time? We can't find enough DNA. I did it a third time. And then after the third time, they were like, yeah, it looks like you fall into the category of people who are non-secretors. So I don't secrete DNA through my bodily fluids.
That's awesome.
It's like in my skin and in my hair.
You
can still get the DNA through there.
You could murder somebody.
But if you need a crime done,
fingerprints.
Yeah, fingerprints.
Just wear gloves.
If you need a crime done, I'm a non-secretor.
That's
officially
awesome. I never knew that was a thing.
I think it's like 1% of the population might be non-secretors. Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Wow.
I'm a dry boy. I don't.
boy.
No liquid coming out of any of these holes. Yeah.
We also call it shooting blanks.
Yeah, not secretors. All right, listen. I think we can move on to another topic. There's more stuff that we can discuss here. I want to know about your theory that pandas aren't real.
Listen, let me just say.
Okay.
Dante, I love you, and I think you're the most interesting guy in the world. But it is my belief that there are not 4 species of aliens walking among us, and that's where the 23andMe thing is. I know you think the Nordic people are aliens and all that stuff. My wife is Dutch. My wife went to Epstein Island 3 or 4 times, somewhere in between.
These are all
there.
connecting.
I go to Holland. They're all tall. They're like fucking giants. Like, are they aliens? Yeah, they're like tall people. Like, even like I don't mean to assign gender, everybody, but like, even like the women in my wife's family. Like, you go there, they're like massive. And like, my kids play volleyball. Like, you get like. Some people are tall, some people are short. Did they come from another planet? No. I just don't believe in the alien thing. I apologize, Dante. There's not for it is my
You
belief that
don't have
there's
to
not
apologize to me. I'm not trying to bash this into your head. I'm just stating this is a claim out there that I think is interesting and worth talking about.
Look, and
PFT
I
asked
can
me
see
to
this
send
'cause-
PFT asked me to send over some good conspiracy theories that I thought were worth discussing. So I sent over a list.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're
Look,
talking about.
I'm allowed to say this because I'm married to one, but if you go to Holland or those, I don't even know if that's considered Nordic, but that region, that region, they're all like, oh, hello, yes, you come to my shop, yes, big summer blowout, yoo-hoo.
You don't think that's kind of weird?
Do they look weird when you see them? Yeah, they're like weird people. They're like, I love them, very kind. I'm all about the European Union. I'm a descendant. Look at my 23andMe if I ever did it. But they're like, yeah, they're weird. I don't judge people physically. They're weird looking. Yeah. Are they aliens? No, they're just a different.
So why do you think the CIA and the intelligence communities are trying to track down people that they've crossbred with, humans that they've crossbred with?
I mean, first of all, I don't. That term sounds a little. It might offend some people, but I crossbred with a Dutch lady. That's why my kids are like. Like.
No, I don't mean ethnicities. I mean alien race and human race.
But no, you were just saying that his wife might be an alien.
No.
I think a lot of this stuff is striking a little too close to home for Jerry. That much is clear. I think you're hey, when you're getting flack, that means you're over all the right targets, not that.
You know what? Maybe later tonight I'll swab my wife and see if she's a secretor and send it over to Dante. We can do a test.
Jerry, I'm not gonna lie. These are two that do. I had no idea that your wife was going to be in the Epstein files and that she was of Dutch descent.
All right. Next topic. Dante thinks that pandas aren't real. So you have the floor, Dante. Pandas are not real.
He does not think that pandas aren't real, but he is hip to the theory that a lot of people have brought up some pretty good points. Yeah, it's gaining steam.
Okay, tell me about the pandas aren't real theory.
All right, so this is a fairly new one, so I don't know it off
I'd
the
assume
top
so
of my
because
head.
I've seen pandas.
Wait, Jerry, how many
pandas?
pandas do you have in your backyard right now? You got a whole family.
How many pandas in my backyard? But I saw the pandas. I think they were in San Diego, Ling Ling and Zing Zing or whatever.
Yeah.
The ones that came over.
Yeah, Jerry,
saw
you know
them.
how much we pay to rent those a year? China
Okay.
gets $1 million a panda a year worldwide.
Well, they sell. I bet they sell a lot more tickets. It's worth it. It's a good investment.
But
I paid.
I think they've gifted out something like 70 something of them, and they gift them, but then they say, "Oh yeah, you gotta pay up.
Follow the money." It's like when somebody gives you a CD on the street,
You gotta pay up."
and then it's like, "Oh, thanks for your CD," and they're like, "Yeah, but now it's going to cost you."
Dante, you work in nightlife. We went to go see that famous DJ who just pushed a button on his iPod and then acted like he was playing all those things.
Mhm.
What was his name again?
Tiesto, like probably the most famous one of all time.
Yeah. Not playing anything there. Sorry, just saying. That knob he was touching was not doing anything. That's my conspiracy theory. I dare you to debunk it. But he is a performer that people pay money to come and see. You and I, well, you got me in for free, but people pay money to go see him. Ling Ling and Zing Zing, whatever the pandas are, people pay money to go see them.
I get it. I'm just saying, it's not this act of goodwill that the CCP likes to make it look like. There's a price tag that comes with it. I'm just saying.
They're not free bears.
Yes, they're not.
It's like the cherry blossoms.
And some people don't even think they're bears.
Go on.
So, do you know that before the early 1900s or late 1800s, there's no recorded history of pandas existing in Chinese literature, art, or culture? the oldest civilization that has documented history. There's no documented history of pandas. Don't you think that there's dragons, there's every other kind of animal you can think of in all their artwork and all their architecture and everything? There's no pandas. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe they were like hidden. I mean, there's no record of like, fish at the bottom of the ocean or crustaceans that are
They
at
were
the
hidden?
bottom of the ocean. Like we're finding new species all the time. Maybe they were camouflaged in the snow and the rock and they couldn't see them.
Here, I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read you what I got. First
Okay,
Western.
I've seen pandas. I've seen them with my eyes. I've seen them.
Listen, I know that they're alive, but there's a lot of new species of animals that have developed over the years. So the first Western awareness.
Wait. So the pandas are real,
but they're not. So listen, just hear me out on this. First documented Western awareness, March 11th, 1869. French missionary Armand David, who I don't know, was shown a black and white pelt in Sichuan. Skin, not a live animal. First Westerner to see a living panda, German zoologist Hugo Wiegold, purchased a cub in 1916. 47 years between discovery and any Western actually laying eyes on one alive. First live giant panda brought to the Western world was a cub named Su Lin, acquired by an American fashion designer, Ruth Harkness, who brought her to the United States in 1936. In 1929, Chicago's Field Museum got 2 mounted pandas stuffed on display courtesy of the Roosevelt brothers, Theodore Jr. and Kermit, who shot them on a hunting expedition in China.
Hate that.
Now,
there's no need to kill them.
Now here's where it gets kind of interesting. National Geographic itself admits ancient Chinese texts rarely mention the native animals. Read that again. The most charismatic mammal on Earth, supposedly endemic to one of the oldest continuously documented civilizations in human history, barely appears in their literature. This is what I already said. Compare that to tigers, dragons, cranes, monkeys, even pangolins, which I don't even know what that is. All over Chinese art and writing for millennia. Pandas completely silent till the 19th century. The color patterns look designed, not evolved. The eye patches are too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Make them look bigger than they are,
Mm-hmm.
which is a known cartooning trick. They're classified as carnivores, but they eat bamboo, which their digestive system can barely process. They have to eat 30 to 84 pounds of it a day to be full. They have a thumb that isn't a thumb.
It's not a thumb.
It's a modified wrist bone.
Also a known cartooning trick.
They famously cannot or will not reproduce in captivity. They have to be artificially inseminated.
All right.
Non-secretors.
Yes.
I mean, listen, that part I get.
like
Could you imagine being in a cage and someone saying, perform, go, and people are watching you?
When the cubs are born, they're radically underdeveloped.
I'm like a lights out guy, porn playing, candles, like eyes closed, shut. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
So here's the theory. The theory is that they're a manufactured species. A creature with no real ancient cultural footprint, paraded into Western consciousness by a fashion designer that conveniently became one of China's most lucrative soft power assets.
So what are you saying? That they were that they're painted, that they're genetic? What are you saying, Dante?
I'm saying that I'm not saying that I believe this. I'm saying that people think.
I know. Yeah, other people
that they were bred like dogs are bred. There's dog breeds now that make no sense. I know people that own huskies bred with Pomeranians. You ever seen a husky?
Is cute. A husky pom. They are super
so
cute.
cute.
A husky pom.
So cute.
Now there is a zoo in China that has painted dogs to make them look like pandas, but they get caught pretty quickly. Those are the funniest looking pandas that you've ever seen.
No, that is funny. I just think genetics just sort of are maybe always evolving, and I think pandas are real. Can't believe I just said that. I think pandas are real, everybody.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it might be a genetic, like it may be a new creature, but I don't think I don't think anyone bred them for that. I think they just I think a oh gosh, I hope this isn't offensive. I think a bear with sort of darker colorings and a bear with lighter colorings made a bear with darker and lighter colorings.
Yeah.
Where does this tie in to you now?
I mean, I'll tell you where it ties into this, Dante, is that a lot of these conspiracies, okay, and this is where it gets a little weird, have to do with breeding, okay? And that is some science fiction stuff. I think it's an obsession with sexuality and like being, we're talking a lot about insemination and secretion and uh, um, giving someone a baby, and aliens are probing and getting inside of us and making new species. And yeah, I think a lot of this has to do with the lore of being inseminated and you're pregnant with a different kind of being. So that's where it gets a little like it's pretty sexual, all this stuff. It all comes back to sexual, which is why I think I think a lot of these conspiracies get off track. A lot of it is, I mean, look, we all want to be probed or probe somebody. That's like a human desire, you know, but like I think it gets a little weird, and I think people go on the internet when it's a little like yeah, it's these aliens called the Nordics, and that's how we got Wemby. And it's like it just gets a little like I think it's like a little
that would make sense, honestly.
Yeah.
He is a freak.
And they call him the alien. It's like sometimes they're obsessed with giving away their own symbology. You know, they like to leave these little breadcrumbs out there.
Great point.
To get away with it, because it makes them feel good when they can trick you to your face.
Here's my $1 million question for you, Jared.
$1 million.
And I was saving this,
$1 million.
But since we already touched on the aliens.
Known cartooning trick is one of the funniest things I've ever heard, by the way. that is a great explanation for why pandas aren't real.
Again, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want credit.
$1 million question.
Does like your spidey sense tingle or any red flags go up when you consider, and now this is fact, up until the last couple of years, the science community, the intelligence community, world governments were hard out on alien life, extraterrestrials, UFOs, to the point where anybody who came forward saying that they witnessed or saw anything, they destroyed. They didn't just brush off or brush under the rug. They destroyed these people. They destroyed their credibility. They called them kook. They committed them to institutions. For decades, this went on. Yeah. Remember the National Enquirer growing up in, supermarket checkouts. I mean, every week it was like lunatic, farmer in Iowa, like, and like to your point, like anal probes, and they were abducted and sexual experiments performed on them, and then they were dropped back off. Now all of a sudden, the government's like, yeah, you guys were right. They're out there. We're going to start disclosing all this information.
Okay.
It doesn't really make sense. So where does your head?
Okay. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
I want to hear.
First of all, I went fishing in the 1990s, late 1990s, with two of my friends off of Montauk Point, Long Island. It's sort of the easternmost point of Long Island. We were in a little, like a 17-footer, and it was a little scary taking a 17-footer. You had to wait till it was calm because it's a smaller boat, and we're out in what they call the Rip, which is where the Long Island Sound meets the Atlantic Ocean. and
Is
there's a
that
lot
like
of good
where they
fishing.
call End of the World?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's the nickname for it.
Right.
Gorgeous town, gorgeous place. So you fish the rip, which is the Atlantic Ocean meets the Sound, and the bigger fish from the ocean eat the smaller fish from the Sound. So it's sort of a feeding place. Can you guys still hear me?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's sort of a feeding place. We're fishing there at night. We had to wait till it was calm. We saw a craft above us with weird lights going like this. We saw it. I'm with two other guys. I could get them on here. Okay. We were seeing it. We were like, what the hell is that? We were pointing at my friend saying, he's a virgin. Take him. He's a virgin. We had some funny jokes, you know. We were drunk. You shouldn't vote and drink, but we were drinking that night. And
Why did you try to get the aliens to take your virgin friend? Like, as a guy that had sex before, it shouldn't be like, take me. I've known the pleasures of a woman. My young friend has not yet become a man yet. Let him try.
I know. Well, it was just a joke, like we're going to sacrifice the virgin or whatever.
Okay,
you know,
gotcha.
we
They want somebody pure. Got it.
Right. Want to probe someone who's pure. Gets back to sexuality. I told you. But the thing then zipped off, and it was surreal. And we were like, we just saw an alien. We just saw an alien. That's where it ended. We didn't go to the press. We didn't like say anything. I mean, I'm saying it now publicly, but you're probing that I talk about this. I don't believe that was an alien. I think it was there is an Air Force base out there. I think it was some sort of, and I look at all the footage of all those things that airplanes clock and everything. There's specs. There's no real clear footage. We don't have any clear evidence. Again, this is where it gets like, oh, it's secret, it's redacted, there's grainy footage. Show me clear footage, Dante, and I'll agree with you. But there's no clear footage. So I'm gonna have to side with no aliens yet.
Jerry, I agree
No
with
aliens.
you. I agree with you. Now, the fact that the government is forthcoming with this makes me think the other way. I distrust the government so much.
And I don't want to be called a cuck F word. I think that's this current administration who's sort of into the salacious sort of like, let's give them a little something. I mean, the JFK files never got released, right? So we don't know what happened there.
Amen.
I mean, they always talk about, I think they did release all the Epstein files. I know you say a lot was redacted, but like, I don't think there's anything else there.
There's still 3
except for what-
million. There's still 3 million files.
There's a lot they haven't put out.
Yeah, 3 million.
But I think they use the sort of alien file stuff as sort of like, we're in this other situation, let's detract it. Can we? And it's I think this current administration is into being in the headlines, and UFOs are in the headlines. I don't believe there's any alien life. I like let's go. Like, show yourself. If not now, when? Like, this is it. So I just I just don't think there's a conspiracy to withhold
Okay.
alien information.
I do think it's interesting, as Dante mentioned, that it used to be you were called crazy, but now it's like we have people that are in the government giving interviews, talking to people that do podcasts, and like putting more of that information out there than ever. The guy from Blink-182, Tom DeLonge, has been working with the government to like declassify things. Jerry, my personal theory on this is that
broke up one of the best bands of our generation because he was called insane.
People call you crazy now if you say there's no aliens.
It's true. Yeah.
Well,
they call you
then call me crazy.
No, I'm with you, Jerry. I haven't seen it yet.
We'll get back to macrodosing in a second. It's brought to you by One Bone. Fellas, quick question. If you're a bigger guy, how many times have you bought a shirt that technically fits but doesn't actually fit? Big T?
A lot.
Does it happen a ton?
A fair amount.
It's either baggy in the stomach or tight in the chest. The arms are never sized right.
It's never right. That's why I got it on right now. Got the OB.
You're wearing the One Bone?
Yeah.
I think I have one of those on right now.
Do you? Yeah, that looks.
A little tight in the shoulders.
That's a great looking shirt. Yeah, that's a great looking shirt. One Bone makes great products. They actually gave me some of the One Bone stuff. I'm not big. I'm not tall. I wear a size 0 in one bone. No, I don't. I think it's -1.
Yeah, you might be in the negatives there.
I think I'm a -1 for one bone. They make great clothes though. That's a good looking
Look
shirt.
at this shirt. But I'm wearing the touch these. I'm wearing the boxers too. Give those a touch.
Okay.
Feel that.
That's very comfortable.
That's nice.
Big T's got very comfortable underwear on. Those proportions are dialed.
Yep. I'm rocking everything.
No boxy look, no weird pulling. The fabric, very soft, very structured. Tees, hoodies, long sleeves. Everyday staples. They've got all. Go to onebone.com. Upgrade to a fit that's actually built for you. Use code BARSTOOL for 20% off and see the difference firsthand. After one wear, you'll understand why standard fits don't make the cut. Go to onebone.com. Use code BARSTOOL, 20% off. We've got more to get to, and I want to just a short amount of time, so I want to do some more topics real quick. Dante, one that caught my eye that you sent over was one that I halfway believe in. The nukes aren't real. Conspiracy. I'll tell you what I do believe in. I think that the United States government and Russia drastically overplayed the amount of nuclear weapons that we had during the Cold War because it was easy to get people to spend lots and lots of money raising up the nuclear stockpiles in the imaginary threat of an opposition country that's trying to wipe you off the face of the earth. So way, way, way more money was being sent to the Lockheeds, the aerospace defense contractors, and the Department of Defense than was really necessary for about 40 years. And it was good for the buildup of the armed forces. But I don't think that we have the thousands and thousands of warheads that we said that we had at the peak of the Cold War. That's my thought on it. But I think you might go a few steps further with it than what I think.
No, I'm far from a physicist, an expert. Again, I've just read these things, and they're worth scratching your head and talking about, I feel like, because some of the points that are made do kind of, make you ask questions. There's a guy named Akio Nakatani who wrote a piece called Death Object, which argues that nuclear weapons don't exist. He pointed out that his claim is that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were actually conventional fire bombings dressed up, fire bombings on steroids, and that every test since then has been faked and exaggerated to keep the Cold War terror balance going. Film studios, elaborate set designs, a lot of miniature sets filmed to look like life size, mushroom bombs. Again, Jerry, I'm not saying I buy this.
I got to apologize to the people of Nagasaki and Hiroshima for hearing this, because it happened. It was real. I'm a huge Dan Carlin fan. For those who don't know, Dan Carlin is a historian who comes out with podcasts on like the Ottoman Empire, on World War I. And he does he takes years to do them. He doesn't sell them on iTunes or anything. You got to buy them from his website. It's really weird. You got to download them. But Dan Carlin. He suggested a book on World War II, something about the history of nuclear armament, and I forget what the book was. I didn't really read the text of what we were going to be talking about. I apologize. But the nuclear arms race is for real. Those tests were for real. That test that happened underwater in the Pacific Islands was for real. There's still
Bravo.
coral damage and damage from that. It's.
I'll tell you what else is also real, though. Lookout Mountain Studios. It's a Air Force filming unit that has admitted that they retouched photos.
Well, we all retouch photos. Dante, the photos I posted of you and I did a little face tuning on stuff. You gotta it is also propaganda where you're showing, the other team, like,
Fair.
hey man, we got some pretty sick bombs. Look at this mushroom cloud. Like, you just touch up a mushroom cloud a little bit, like, but I mean, it's pretty documented, that like nuclear fission, atomic fission was used as a weapon, and it was mass destruction, and Nagasaki and Hiroshima happened, and it was to sort of send a message to the rest of the world, like, we're not afraid to use this weapon, we'll use it. It was also a testing device. It was also, an excuse to test it. Like, I don't condone the use of nuclear weapons, but
That's
I
good. I'm
mean,
glad we have that on the record.
I think I'm a firm believer that this entire situation that's happening in Iran is all about getting that dust out of no dust, no bucks, is all about getting that dust out of Iran. I think it's a real thing, and I think it's really scary. That book that they made that shitty movie about was really good, about the nukes that come over. I forget what it was called. It was another Dan Carlin's suggestion.
There, I do believe that there were obviously, like, there have been lots and lots of atomic weapons. I just think that the numbers are a little bit overstated. I also, if you look into like the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I didn't realize this until a few years ago, that Nagasaki was not the original target for target number 2. It was supposed to be Kokura, Japan.
I didn't know that either.
Which was a bigger military destination. And flying over it, they flew over it 3 times to try to drop the bomb, but the cloud cover saved them. And Harry Truman had specifically told the pilots, don't drop the bomb unless you can visually see the target and where you're bombing. We're not going to use the radar. We're not going to do it if the clouds are up there. So they aborted that raid, and then they went to the secondary target that day, which was Nagasaki. Flew over that one time. There was a cloud cover, and they were about to turn back and go home. And then one of the guys inside said, look, I see an opening in the cloud cover. Let's go over there, drop the bomb. Other people that were there that day said that there was not an opening in the cloud cover, but the plane just wanted to make sure that they dropped the bomb on the mission. So they flew over Nagasaki a second time, dropped the bomb like 3 miles off target, and then flew home. But yeah, Kokura, Japan was supposed to be wiped off the face of the earth that morning, and because of a few clouds, it wasn't. Pretty crazy.
So proponents of this theory point out, and they also point to Chernobyl, saying that the flora and the wildlife is, I don't know if I would use the word thriving, but the way that it's bounced back does not make sense or concur with what would happen with radiation at the levels that they claim happens.
Remember in Fantasia, the thing with the wildfire comes around and then everything grows again? I mean, I could see that happening. Remember that Fantasia storyline?
Or like nature's healing, like people aren't there to pollute the atmosphere. So I've heard about the wolves. I've heard about the Chernobyl wolves that roll around.
There's a pretty good theory. I don't know it well enough to bring up on here, but about Fantasia. We'll have to talk about it next time I see you.
Oh yeah,
I'll learn
that's some deep shit, Jerry. I don't know that Jerry's ready to get into Disney.
I'll learn up on that. Jerry, you know what I'll tell you though?
Just give it to me. I want to hear what's wrong.
I don't honestly. I don't know well enough to bring it up. I don't want to sound like an idiot, but dumber than I already have.
It's a cartoon. It's got
there's a lot of symbology, a lot of it. But hey, where this theory falls apart from me,
the classic animation trick. Wait, what was the saying?
A known cartoon trick.
Yes. Where the nukes don't exist theory contradicts itself, doesn't fall apart, contradicts itself for me is all the claims from ex-military I guess officials that claim aliens have locked down nuclear warheads in silos anytime there's been like heightened tensions around the globe. And this has happened not just in America, but in other countries as well. So supposedly the aliens are looking out for humankind. They don't want us to wipe ourselves off the earth.
Well, if they did exist, that would be cool of them. I do want to say, if you get any information, Dante, from someone who is ex-military or ex-CIA, I have a real problem with that information because, look, not to generalize and stereotype, but Dante, if you're a part of a crew, if you're a part of a familia, okay, like the CIA or like the military, and you're part of a family, when you're, let's say you retire and you're done with that family, you don't talk about the
Agreed.
family. You know what I'm saying?
Merida. I got it.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
these guys who are former military who come out and are now willing to tell the truth, I immediately debunk it and distrust it because, look, I'm going to put myself in their shoes. I'm from Hollywood. I've been in Hollywood since the 90s, since the 80s when I was in Stand By Me, when I was the husky kid in Stand By Me. I've like dated people. I've had relationships. I've had some crazy times. Crazy. Okay? I'm not joking. They're gonna die with me. I might whisper them to you, Dante, and say, please don't repeat this. And if you repeat it, I'll just deny it. But I would never publicly come out and say anything because part of the family. You understand, Dante?
Yeah, you have integrity.
So when these ex-military guys come out and say, well, now I can talk about the aliens and stuff, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
Great point.
All right, that's a fair point. Dante, one more thing. John Pelletier, the Maui police chief, who is also the police chief of Las Vegas during the Las Vegas shooting at the Route 91 concert.
Wait, what? I didn't even know that part.
And he's now named in a Diddy lawsuit.
Yeah.
All right, so I did a little bit of background research on this. The police chief of Las Vegas during that incident, a guy named John Pelletier, and he also he moved to Maui to become the police chief there ahead of the he moved there before the giant fires.
So far, nothing wrong with this. Cops change towns all the time.
That's okay. So that's the background that I have on it. I believe we might get into some directed energy weapon theories based on some of the literature I'd started to read, but I wanted to have Dante explain that because I just dabbled in it earlier this morning on my walk to work. Not to brag, I walked to work this morning.
This is just one of those ones that makes you scratch your head because of the coincidence. And yeah, I get what you said. Police chiefs change locations and jobs, but yeah, he was the Metro Police captain and incident commander at the Route 91 Harvest Festival shooting, October 1, 2017.
Terrible situation.
Absolutely terrible. Very, very shady. That was 2017. 4 years later, he became Maui Police Chief, December 2021. After 22 years at Las Vegas PD. The Lahaina fires hit August 2023. So a couple years later, same guy, two of the most controversial mass casualty events in recent history. Then, on top of those, he was added as a co-defendant to Diddy's sexual assault lawsuit in March 2025 with allegations that he was involved in covering up a 2018 incident while still a Las Vegas captain. The accuser claims he posed as security for Diddy's detail.
Now, it's important to also note with that, the same lawsuit that mentioned Drewski, before Drewski was famous, and Odell Beckham, which they both denied, and also a judge has dismissed that it was a civil lawsuit that was filed, which was since dismissed.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted, I wanted to, we're not trying to get sued.
Correct.
We want to add that important context in.
So, yeah, same guy, two very inopportune places, and the theory says that it wasn't a coincidence that he was.
Guys, this is where this show gets a little like off the rails for me. It was a devastating fire. It happens. There are fires in that area. You can't blame one person because they were affiliated with another monster. We can all agree that Diddy is a monster. Let's hear overwhelming.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Monster, allegedly affiliated.
Monster.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Monster. Thank you.
Might
so
not
much.
actually be affiliated.
Notice Arian didn't say anything.
Right. Not if allegedly whatever. I think I'm defending this cop. I don't think, like, I live here in LA. I have heard all the crazy theories about the wildfires that happened just a couple of miles that way. We had a big fire here a few years ago, I think 8 years ago. It was a big fire. It was a truck that hit the pole, that hit the power pole that started it. I think when something devastating happens, you look for these conspiracies and everything. And I gotta say, it's just, you know what? I got a conspiracy for you. It's climate change. It's hotter now. Things are drier now. Things burn more. Um, I don't think we can blame one person who's in a position of authority for a devastating wildfire or a directional microwave weapon.
It's a direct energy weapon, Jerry. You're intentionally mischaracterizing that. And you know that direct energy weapons exist. I'm not saying that it started the fire, Jerry. I think Jerry's too close to all this. That's what I think.
No, I'm not. I'm not close at all. That's what's so beautiful about this. I'm not close at all. I'm as far away as possible. That's what's so great. Getting back to the beginning of our episode, Occam's razor. It was a fire, devastating. We're so sorry for all the loss, all of it. It's not one person firing a microwave gun. Come on, everybody.
All right.
It wasn't a person. It was a satellite.
It was a satellite, Jerry.
It was not a satellite. It was not a satellite. It was not. Think about it, guys. Think about it, Dante. It was not a satellite. I'm going to tell you something about satellites and phasers, okay? And I'll give you a conspiracy thing. I moved to Los Angeles decades ago, okay? I'm not going to say anything because I don't want us to get sued. I stayed away from a certain church, a group of people, the whole time. There were some people, very attractive people always at parties or bars, would be like, hey, come on over here. It's really good. It'll help you organize your thoughts. It'll help. Or do you feel insecure about stuff? Do you feel like you've worked more? Like, come over. This will clear everything up. Of course I feel insecure. We all feel insecure.
Travolta's crew?
No. Don't say any names. Don't say any names.
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want anyone with cameras on their foreheads coming up to my door like bitty bitty bitty. I don't want that, okay? That was something Dante said that's not to the jury right now. That was something Dante said. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I stayed away from this crew forever and ever, okay?
How long were you trying to be recruited?
I'll tell you how it happens. You're out at a bar. I am heterosexual-ish. And a young lady would come up to me, hot, and start talking, drinking, partying, young, friends. Hey, we're going to an after party. Let's go. Come on, girls. Go to an after party, going to a house, and you'll see some sort of signage or something for where you're going. And it's like, whoa. And literally they're like at the gate, like, it's okay. Come on. It's fine. It's not a big deal. What are you doing? Come back. And it's like, whoa, no. I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. I can't afford this place. Okay. They take a percentage, and I got an agent, I got a manager, I got a lawyer. Forget about it. Not to mention taxes. Years I stay away from this crew. I stay away from it. I used to smoke cigarettes, okay? I love cigarettes. Terrible habit, kids. Even vaping, like careful of that nicotine. It just catches you. Is everybody still with me?
We got you. We got you. Loud and clear.
So work, they made it very hard to smoke. They had what's called a butt can. So when smoking became really bad, they would put a butt can like 100 yards away from set, and you'd have to sit there and just like you'd have to run over when I got a break and just like chain like two ciggies, like, and it's like and it's degrading, and everybody's watching you and waiting and like just sucking on that cigarette, like just getting it in, and it's degrading. You're just sucking it down,
Over a bucket?
Sorry?
Over a bucket?
Over a sand bucket, because that's where you put your buttos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing there one day and I'm just like, I got a break, and I run over and I'm like, you know, and guy, muscular guy, young guy, comes over. He's standing there and he's like watching me, like sucking my ciggy. And I go, hey man, you want a ciggy? Like, and you want someone else to smoke with you, You don't want to be the only degenerate at work. And he goes, nah, man, I don't smoke anymore. I quit. And I went, holy shit. Wow. How'd you quit? How'd you do it? How'd you do it, man? And he was like, I got the lasers. And I was like, what? Lasers? Like, you hear lasers, satellite lasers, you get like excited. Like, I want to be like, yeah, that sounds like something that's interesting. Let me read the rest of this theory. Lasers? And he said, yeah, over in Santa Monica. Here's the card. Go. Do it. It's great. It's like laser treatment, and I haven't wanted a cigarette. I haven't wanted a cigarette since. So I call the place. I'm desperate to quit smoking. I'm desperate to stop standing over a butt can like, oh, give me a cigarette. Oh, Daddy, please. I go there. They give me a book, a binder, like this thick, asking all kinds of questions: sexual preference, desires,
Whoa.
most embarrassing moments. And I like kind of fill it out, but like, I withhold some information, some things I want to keep inside, um, and repress them. But I give like sort of as much as I can, and I hand the book over. And out of the back comes the hottest woman in a lab coat. Absolute smoke show. 11, 12, 13. And she goes, okay, come back to the examination room, please, Jerry O'Connell. And I go back and I get in the room and I go, I sit down in the chair and I go, honey, she's like got a clipboard and a lab coat. And she's like, okay, thank you. So the smoking cessation lasers treatment will start soon. And I was like, well, honey, you're not a you're not a scientist. What? Who are you? What? First of all, I'm getting your number when this is done. But what is this place? Who are you? This is not real. You're not real. You're not a laser. Like I thought a guy. I hate to generalize and stereotype and assign gender, but I thought like Albert Einstein was going to come out of the back, And you guys are still with me, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm,
yes.
mm-hmm.
Edge of my
Yep,
seat.
loud and clear.
And so I was like, what is this place? Who are you? She looked like a playmate. She was beautiful. Don't judge people physically. Beautiful. Dante, beautiful. And I was like, what is this place? Who are you? And then it fucking hit me. And I was like, oh my God, they must have leafed through my book, said, this is what he's going to react to. And I was like, you're a part of this large church, aren't you? And she was like, what? And I was like, unfucking real. I've lived in this town for 15 years and you never got me until right now. Tell me you're a part of that church. And she said, we are affiliated with that church. And I went, unfucking real. You got me. You got me in here. And you know what? They preyed on my weakness, on my smoking, on my sucking on cigarettes at that butto, sucking on them. And they got a guy who hook, line, and sinker. We have a magic cure, and it's with lasers. By the way, she went in the back. She came out with a toy gun. Was like it was like a battery operated toy from like Chinatown. Like, and I literally walked outside and just ripped the dome just right out there, and um, but it does get back to all this. I think a lot of these conspiracies touch on things that we are very insecure about, things that we are very doubtful, very fearful of. Nuclear war, okay? Pandas aren't scary, but I guess wild animals are scary.
China. China's scary. That's the fear in that one, yeah.
But I'm saying I think a lot of these conspiracies come from things that we are completely insecure about, touching on those insecurities. So that's just my point about
I think that's
all
a
of
great
this.
point.
Can I just
I think
say,
it's a great point.
we should have led with that whole deal. Secondly, Jerry, I'm curious though. I fall somewhere between you and Dante, it seems, on most of this. Does that experience that you just named and other experiences you've had in Hollywood not lead you to be a bit more skeptical of things?
I'm just not skeptical because maybe I inherently trust society and life and just think that people don't wake up in the morning and think, how can I lie today? You know, I just don't think I understand being distrustful of things and people. And look, life is hell. I mean, it's just a fucking shit show. It's a nightmare. But I don't think the world is as distrustful as some people make it out to be.
Is it hard living in Hollywood with that
Um,
mindset? I feel like you have to be in the minority, unless I'm completely wrong.
No, I think it's a pretty sane place. I think California is a pretty progressive state, so I think that uh with uh, I just I don't think there's a mayoral race happening here in Los Angeles right now, okay? And it really is it's dividing the city, okay? Um and it sort of gets back to one of the earlier conspiracies that we were talking about, people are very angry about that, and they have a right to be about that fire that happened and why reservoirs weren't filled and these are friends of mine who I know that typically don't get upset about these things. So I think when big devastating things happen, I think it opens the door for larger conspiracies, which I personally don't believe are the case, but I understand how people uh, can uh, can adhere to them. Thank God I don't live in LA County. I live here in Calabasas, where all the Kardashians live. So I don't have to vote for either Mayor Bass or Spencer Pratt. But it is dividing the city, and by the way, it is rooted in conspiracy and like where money is going and why wasn't there water. I mean, the conspiracies run deep, deep.
Mhm.
People saying that the fire, people wanted the fire to happen. I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe anybody wanted that fire to happen. That's my belief.
Well,
A
you know
lot
what I
of
thought?
a lot of chemtrails above me. Maybe we could get into that
They don't talk about
next time.
those. I thought a beautiful moment from today's show was Jerry acknowledging the fact that there's a chance that Epstein might not have killed himself.
Oh,
Like,
well,
did you change
it
your mind
was-
about anything today, Dante?
Jerry made a lot of really good points. And besides being just a great guy and one of the better looking older men I've come across in a long time, you're very smart. You're very smart. Like really, like legit, like very intelligent.
For an old guy, it's
Dante.
shocking. You still got your brain. You're still very sharp, Jerry.
No, you
Hey,
made
you
you made a
as well,
lot of
Dante.
sense. You made a lot of sense.
Dante, I love talking to you about this stuff. I could do it all day and night. To me, it's the most interesting stuff to talk about. And what kind of show would this be if I was just like, yeah, you're right, Dante. The people from Holland are all fucking aliens. Hello. Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. I am from space. I'm going to probe you. You are going to get my secretion. It works, unlike PFTs.
We got more stuff that we'll have to get into at some other time.
Guys, I gotta go out to lunch with
yeah.
my wife.
All right, tell her I say hi, Jerry.
All right,
I mean
guys.
it. Tell her.
Thanks so
PFT
much,
says
Jerry.
hello.
This was awesome.
Love you, Dante.
Excited to see you in Chicago in a couple months.
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Oh, let me plug. Stand By Me Live is coming to Indianapolis, and then we're doing a road trip to Chicago in the middle of June.
Okay.
And we're doing it at the Chicago Theater. Anybody at Barstool, if you want tickets, just text me. We watched Stand By Me, which was the movie I was in. I was the
Fat kid.
Sorry.
Very huge role. Large, very large role. Maybe the biggest role you've ever had.
I was the husky kid in Stand By Me, and we watched the movie. It's so fun to watch it with like 2,000 people. And then we have a discussion, me and the other co-stars, of what it was like shooting. It's so emotional. It's very emotional now that Rob Reiner has passed. God rest his soul. It's just it's a really fun night. It's in Indianapolis and in Chicago in the middle of June.
By the way, you did an incredible job honoring him after that was a tragedy. But
thank you. Thank you, Dante.
Yeah, you did a great job.
He was a big part of my life. He really like my mentor, and when he's gone, it's like the world is very different for me now, and he's always with me. He's always with me. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to lunch with my wife. Love you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Jerry.
Thanks, Jer.
Bye, Jerry.
Good talk. And that conversation was brought to you by Stella Blue. Stella Blue coffee is more than just great coffee. It's coffee that gives back. I had a Stella Blue this morning before I walked to work. Not to brag, I walked to work. And it was a perfect way to start my day. I had the espresso sweet cream. And they've got a new initiative, We Brew to Rescue. It's a nationwide campaign using proceeds from the ready-to-drink cans to fund 1,000 pet adoptions this year. Every can you crack open helps a real pet find a real home. Simple as that. It's made with 100% Colombian coffee. Each 11-ounce can delivers smooth, drinkable energy. You get a boost of protein. The best canned lattes out there, period. Drink Stella Blue, fuel your day, help save a pet's life. Get yours at StellaBlueCoffee.com, Amazon, and select retailers across the country. That was really good. Shout out, Jerry. All right, well, I'm glad that we had some common ground that we could discover there. Just listen, the free exchange of ideas, that's what this country's all built on.
Amen.
Right? You got some Hollywood lib like Jerry O'Connell, and then you have a Midwest. I don't even know what to call you, Dante. You are on the red team when it comes to trivia, but your theories are kind of all over the political spectrum, which I appreciate.
He's a maverick.
You are a maverick. You play by your own rules.
It's dangerous.
There's some other stuff in the news if we want to get into it real quick.
Would love to.
Did you watch the enhanced games?
I heard the lead up to them, and I thought it was crazy, but very on brand for where we are as a society.
Mm-hmm. It was also big. It was a big nothing.
So that's what I was going to say. I didn't even know that they happened, and then I saw the highlights, if you want to call them that, and it was like it didn't even compare to a regular Olympics.
Not even close. The 100-yard dash or 100-meter dash was 9.97 seconds, which would have been the world record in like 1960 something. So they got a lot of second and third tier athletes that were just like, yeah, I'll do steroids, and then they were like, watch these humans become superhuman.
And nothing
using the most modern technology. And I think that there's a neat little allegory there for the way people like Peter Thiel see the world sometimes, which is these tech oligarchs. They think that they're living in the science fiction future. They think that they're 500 years from now in a movie that they saw when they were a kid. And they're like, we've achieved the technology to make humans into superhumans and bioengineer them to be the super soldiers of the future. And really, none of the technology is anywhere close to being
agreed
in that remote ballpark. But they do think that they're these very important figureheads when it comes to changing human biology and human evolution. And they think that they're almost like a god status. So they create things like the enhanced games to show off the technology that they've been working to support as like the visionary of the future. And it's just nowhere close to being what they say it is.
Well, perfect segue from that is, did you see Elon's comment? I think it was late last week about Neuralink and how in 2028, so 2 years from now, he is claiming that people with Neuralink are going to be able to download an NBA All-Stars jump shot into their brain.
That's crazy.
That's a claim that he made last week.
All right. Which NBA All-Stars jump shot would you download into your own brain to recreate?
So the picture that I saw with the article was Steph Curry.
Wrong.
I agree. That's wrong. Wrong answer.
I'm not saying that would be my answer, but I'm saying that's who.
The correct answer is Klay Thompson. Best shooting form there's ever been is Klay Thompson.
Not Ray Allen?
No.
Not
Ray Allen's actually a little like unconventional. It's very short shot.
Not Reggie Miller. Not Larry Bird.
Reggie Miller was very unconventional. He almost like a two-handed release that old Reg had.
Klay Thompson has the most pure, like textbook shooting form of all time.
I would download Sean Marion's.
You could probably just go figure that out.
But you'd be good. That's what made Sean Marion such a hilarious basketball player. It was he had the weirdest looking shot, but it went in. It worked.
Mark Titus beat him in the Chili's 3 for me.
That's true, yeah. People forget that. They don't talk about that anymore.
All right, you're right. It's a very high release. That
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
Larry
perfect.
Bird. Kind of like Larry Bird. Like straight over the head.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that NBA players' jump shots will not be widely available for download into your own brain in a year and a half.
I don't even want to live in that world where that is possible. Like, why are we trying to get to that point is what I don't understand.
I mean, I think some people think it would be sick to have a wet jump shot.
But isn't that like what video games are for? Isn't that what virtual reality is for? Like, why do we need to make that real, actual reality?
Yeah, I think nobody is happy with their limitations anymore. A limitation is a form of insecurity that everybody has. It's like, okay, I will never be a professional hockey player. I'm not that good at skating. Would I want to download a program that made me instantly great at skating? It would probably be fun for a few minutes. But also, I think it might be one of those things where it's like I didn't earn
exactly
any of that through
It's
hard
the
work when I was growing up and like practice.
Exactly. It's the journey.
Yeah, if you gave everybody the ability to play guitar at a world-class speed right now, and you download it, you plug it into your brain, you pick up a guitar, you know all the scales, you know you've got every song that's just memorized in your brain, you know how to play it all. I think that would be very bad for creativity because you don't have any of the journey that goes along behind it. You don't understand why these different things sound the way that they do. You're not going to be able to evolve and build off it. You're just given something.
And you no longer appreciate Jimi Hendrix, like you're like, oh, I can do that. That's nothing special anymore.
Yeah. If everyone can do everything, then nothing's impressive.
Speaking of insecurities, I thought that was the best point Jerry made in his little final statement was that uncertainty, tragedy, and insecurity definitely opens the door for the human mind to want to justify or blame or reason on things. I thought that was a great point.
They will prey on that.
I thought that was a great point.
They will prey on it for sure. Also, we're not saying what organization that was. It could have been anybody. It could have been anyone.
What a life that guy's got, man.
Big T sent this over today. I've not heard of this strategy yet. The new strategy when it comes to dating of trying to figure out how wealthy the person is.
This is big online right now. There's a lot of discourse about this.
So you say you're invited on a date. A gentleman invites a lady on a date.
Yes.
And the lady is taught to reply, "How will I get there?" ?
Apparently, this is, from what I understand, this is being taught by, quote, dating coaches in large cities.
Okay.
So that women will show that they know their worth. And it is, I guess, supposed to be a passive-aggressive way of saying that you expect to be Ubered somewhere.
Pay for a car, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of men are running into this and questioning its
how will I get
use.
there?
Yeah.
Now, is it not just the men not knowing how to describe, like, give directions? What if the man was just like, okay, you're going to make a right onto Hudson, then you're going to take a left cross town on. You're going to go on.
Well,
what avenue would that be?
A lot of this discourse comes from this Reddit post where a guy said, I was talking to a woman for a few weeks, had been on 2 dates in Manhattan, and FaceTimed a few times. I invited her to Williamsburg for a brunch date. She said yes, and then asked how she'd get there and if I would send a car for her. I assumed this was a joke since she lives in Greenwich Village, so like 15 minutes away. I laughed and said I had full faith in her to make it to Brooklyn. She quickly called off the date and broke things off completely. Is this a common expectation in NYC dating?
So, yeah.
And then a bunch of people replied saying, like, yeah, that's the new tactic that the dating coaches are teaching.
Well, I don't know if what they did with the L train, if they ever ended up shutting it down. I don't think that they did, but it's really easy from you go to I think it's like 12th Street,
14th
Street.
There
might be an entrance at 12th too.
You'd go to 14th and 8th.
Yeah,
and take that.
I think I'm talking about the one that's closer to like the hospital, which might be you might be able to get down there on 12th.
Yeah.
But yeah, same station essentially, and you just take the L train, and it will take you all the way out to Williamsburg.
Yeah, you can go to bed. You can get off at the Bedford stop.
Yeah,
about a 20-minute ride.
It's very easy, and I think it's what, like $275, something like that.
Yep.
Oh, they raised it.
Or I believe it's $290.
$290 now. Yeah. $290 to get there. Pretty cool. Mass transportation.
Yeah.
Also, it'll be way faster than that's what I don't understand about this in New York. It's way slower to take cars usually.
Yeah.
Like it's depending on what time of day we're talking about, to get across town and go all the way to Williamsburg, you might be looking at like 25, maybe 30 minutes in a car if it's bad traffic. So, I don't know. How will I get there? It makes you sound kind of helpless when you say that.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to? How do I don't know. I'm here. How do I get there? Where you are.
Also, that's an interesting dynamic: a Williamsburg male and Greenwich Village female dating each other.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be reversed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Interesting.
Now, assuming they would move in together at some point.
Right.
Do you think
she called off the date?
Yeah, would it be more likely for them to move in together in Greenwich Village?
Greenwich Village is not moving to Williamsburg.
Oh, see, I think if you want to settle down, she would move to Brooklyn.
I don't think living in the Villy is looking for Williamsburg.
I lived in the Villy. I would not be looking for Willie.
Right.
I'm a Villy.
No Villy to Willie.
You can go.
You're a Villy villain.
I'm a Villy till the day I die.
Mm-hmm.
I could see
that T-shirt would have gone nuclear in 2013.
Yeah,
nuclear.
Going Villy, you could go Villy to Willie, but I think that's if you're maybe having a kid.
Yeah, like I think if you're moving in together, may I suggest Greenpoint?
Okay. Well, wow. Okay, X Factor. Compromise. I think that Villy to Willie, you get more space in Willie.
Yeah.
So if you're like looking to have a kid, start a family, then I don't understand how people have children in New York. It's not Child City.
No. You see them sometimes, like they go to school and stuff, and you're just like, I forget that those exist here.
They just spawn. They just
Yeah.
spawn in New York City. I don't think people actually, they sit down, they're like, let's have a family of 4 children in New York City. I don't know where they would live.
They're just really rich.
Yeah, you could be really rich, or you could just have city kids that like instantly, the second they step outside, become way, way, way cooler than you are. And those kids would never say, how do I get there? Those kids would have 5 different ways to get there.
Right.
Depending on which train and which corner you wanted to enter and exit out of.
They're city biking.
Oh,
I was going to sit this one out, but I feel like I'm doing a disservice to guys out there. I send Ubers.
Do you?
Gentleman
Would you
Dante.
if someone said that though?
No, I do automatically.
Right, but
Wow.
if
You
make 'em ask. I like
that's
that.
fine. That's
I
fine.
beat
if
'em
you,
to it.
If you want to do that, but if a girl said that to you, would you not be?
Usually I'm like, "What's your address?" And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause I'm gonna pick you up."
That's fine if you want to do that of your own volition.
Yeah, but the games, I definitely agree. The games are fucked up. The game that I think is the most fucked up that these girls are coaching these girls on doing, and they're not dating coaches, they're influencers.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're these girls that are like telling these girls how to game the dating system and all that. The one that's really messed up is the one where they text a bunch of guys in their phone while they're out at dinner with their girlfriends, and they see who can get the guy to buy them and their friends the dinner or the meal or the lunch or whatever.
And
like-
they're not even there.
That's
They'll-
crazy.
No. They'll be like, so say there's 3 girls out at Tavern on Rush. They'll each text 3 or 4 guys and say, "Hey, I'm at lunch with my girlfriends, blah, blah, blah." They'll strike up a conversation. "Oh, cool. Yeah, so-and-so, a guy said he was going to send us money, but he, like, is ignoring her or whatever. He's a cheapskate or whatever." They'll bash another guy, a make-believe guy, seeing which guy will be the sucker and say, "Oh, here you go," and
That is
Venmo him or
nuts.
whatever. This is like a big thing. Like, I've talked to a lot of guys and this has happened. This happened to me a few times. I've been like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, that's really messed up to me. But I
That's
don't know.
crazy.
But I'm also the Uber guy, so maybe I shouldn't be talking.
So when you say like, what's your address? Is anybody ever like, I don't know you yet? Are we talking about like girls
Yeah,
you meet
there's-
online?
No, there's a few. No, not like. I don't do like dating apps and stuff.
Okay.
No, but when like you ask a girl out
Right.
to dinner,
I was thinking more along like the dating app. If you
Make-
were talking
no.
to somebody on a date, hey, what's your address? Might be a
no, you make plans. Some of them are like, "Wait, why?" And then you're like, "Oh, because I was gonna pick you up or send you a car." Some of them are like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing, thank you." Some of them are like, "No, I'm good," which either one is usually a good sign.
Have you ever said, "How am I supposed to get there?" and wait for them to call you an Uber?
No, that would be like fun though.
That would be fun. Like, can you imagine that if a girl is calling you a ride? I want to make sure you get there safe, babe.
That's a Nikki Smokes move.
Make her pay.
That is a move he would do.
You think he would?
Oh, I
don't-
can bet he would.
Just so he could tell the story about it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. What else we got in the news today that we want to get to? I want to talk a little bit about the UFC that's going to happen on the White House lawn
Dude,
in a few weeks. Because I saw you had some thoughts about it, Dante.
when we were talking about where we're at as a society, I almost brought that up. Like, the fact that this is happening is, no offense to UFC fans out there, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
My initial reaction to this, and I actually saw Dana White brought this up when he was in a podcast too. If you're from the DC area, you know that there is something that is synonymous with any time that it is hot outside, when it's hot, humid, anytime I'd say between like March and probably October.
Shootings.
Not shootings. No, not shootings, Big T. Gnats.
They do have those though.
And I'm not talking about the baseball gnats. I'm
The
talking
G.
about the bugs, GNATS. They are everywhere in the summer. They're all over your face. If you go outside, you're going to get swarmed. If it's humid, you're going to get swarmed by these tiny little gnats. And if you're doing a fight on the White House lawn, these bugs are going to be everywhere, having a fucking field day with these fighters. I don't think they bite. I don't think that they might bite, but you don't really notice them as being biting bugs. They're just buzzing around your face the entire time. You're going to see a ton of gnats at this fight, and I don't think that there's a way that you can get rid of them.
Especially with all the lights.
Yeah. They're going to figure out a way. The gnats will be involved, and they're the biggest pricks in the world. I hate them. That's the main reason why I will never move back to DC is those bugs.
And I thought you were going to say the humidity.
Well, that's part of it, yeah, because it's built on a swamp.
Oh, I don't know. Every time I'm there in the summer, walking around, I'm always like, how do people wear shirts and ties and sport coats? And they just got to be soaking wet when they step outside. But
I used to take a train to the city, and I would walk from the train station like maybe 3 blocks to where I was doing an internship, and in that 3-block span, I would have to bring a separate shirt to change into.
I believe it.
Once I got to work, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. Do you ever think? I always think weird stuff when I'm dealing with extreme weather. Always like, how the hell did people back in the day before heat and air conditioning do it? Like, what possessed them to settle? Like in Chicago in the wintertime, I'm always like, what the hell were people thinking settling here, and how did they survive?
Yeah. What would you do like in Arizona before air conditioning?
Yeah, like you can't get away.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, you could insulate places like for heat. There was nothing you could do for AC. Like, how did anybody live in Georgia?
Yeah, great question.
My great-grandma said when she was a kid, they'd go to her grandparents' house in Florida. No air conditioning, nothing. I was like,
Yeah.
What'd you do?
You can't. Yeah, it's impossible to live there. Impossible. In Canada, I don't know how anyone lived in Canada in the wintertime. I guess they were just hardier people. They were just tougher people back then.
Had to be.
And everyone smelled. That's the thing you have to remember is everybody used to smell real bad all the time. Some still do, but everybody smelled bad until like 50 years ago.
I know, that's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
There's a lot of discourse on X.com right now about air conditioning in Europe and their desire to not have it.
A lot of places don't have AC, yeah.
Dude, my family in southern Italy, some don't even have fans.
Mm-hmm.
Go there in the summertime, it's 110 degrees, and you're just like still air, no movement. It's just like you're in an oven.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense. I think your body gets used to it after a while. It has to.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know.
I did see one tweet that said the one thing Americans are right about is ceiling fans. We should have those. I was like, y'all don't have ceiling fans?
No, dude. It's crazy.
That's
And
pretty
yet,
brutal.
AC,
Like, why?
AC is a luxury in most places in Europe.
But they've conditioned themselves, no pun intended, to like hate it. They're like, oh, it sucks. Actually, we don't want that
That's crazy.
because they can't have it.
It dehydrates the air. That part is true. It makes the air dry, but it also makes you very comfortable to be indoors on a hot day. I don't know. What's their main point against it? Just like you're releasing a lot of freon into the atmosphere.
I think it's just that like it's an American thing. We don't do that here. I saw one day. I think in France there's a myth. I don't know if it's perpetuated by any specific groups, but some people believe if you cool a room to 15 degrees more or less than the outside temperature in Fahrenheit, that you will develop like a disease.
Really?
So if it's 90 outside and you have it below 75, they think you'll get sick.
Like if you're going in and out, if you're like changing temperatures all the time.
I'm not even sure if that was part of it. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I thought it was just an expense thing. I thought it was just so crazy expensive.
No, they claim that like none of the houses there can handle it because they're all old and built for like to be really insulated and shit. To which I would ask why. It doesn't get like remarkable, like England in particular, where there's no AC really.
Right.
It doesn't get like bitterly cold there, from what I understand. Rains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's why did that become a thing on Twitter?
I think every summer usually there's a little bit of discourse about it. Once it reaches like it'll be 83 degrees in England one day and there'll be like 2 people died of heat stroke.
Oh yeah, a lot of people die in the summer over there from elderly.
More people die in Europe of heat stroke than die of gun violence in America.
Holy shit.
How many people die of heat stroke every year in Europe?
That's a
don't know if I
lot.
Well, I guess there's a lot of people that live in Europe too, when you think about it.
Yeah, that's
not
a
as
lot.
many as live here. Not nearly as many.
I think there's more people in the entire continent of Europe.
350 million?
Yeah. Let's see. How many people live?
Well,
in-
that if we're not counting,
Let's see. I could be wrong.
are we counting Russia?
Yeah, I mean all of Europe. 743 million people.
How many? That's Russia.
Yeah, Russia's got to be half that.
Russia has 146 million.
Wow, that's
So
a
still
lot
a
less than I
Okay, so
thought.
6.
Yeah, so we're looking at about 6 million people.
600.
Sorry, 600 million
Okay.
people. Close to twice the size of the United States. So it would make sense that there's a lot of heat stroke deaths over there, just in terms of deaths in general.
Approximately 60,000 people die each year of heat-related illness in Europe. And there are 45,000 gun deaths in America, most of which are suicides.
Mm-hmm.
Big T, what are your thoughts on UFC, White House?
I didn't know about it until a couple weeks ago.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't do the UFC thing. It doesn't cross my desk.
I am always astonished about. I'm from the generation that remembers when UFC was like banned. Like you had to like go to shady video stores and rent them on VHS. They were like
Ultimate knockouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the way they used to do the original tournaments would just be like one guy takes on all comers.
Yeah, and it was like it was always like the Gracie family,
Yeah.
and it was all these like foreigners, and you'd watch them on VHS, and now it's like on network television once a week. It's like crazy how mainstream it's become and big it's become, to the point where it's the first sporting event being held at the White House. It's like crazy to me.
It is nuts how much it's increased in visibility, for sure. It was like the bastard stepchild of boxing.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, it's like very much a young person's game. And then slowly but surely, it just like completely started to dominate combat sports. Now, boxing's in a tough place. If they're not doing celebrity fights, they're not selling tickets.
I know, which is a shame, because a good boxing match still is so fun to watch. So exciting.
There's just too many bad boxing matches. That's the problem.
Way too many. I feel like the best boxers got swallowed up into the MMA circuit.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a spectacle, though. I will watch it because it's going to be.
I want to see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But the other thing is, I've been to. It's a South Lawn, right?
I'm not sure.
I think
It's
the
on
South
one of the
Lawn.
lawns,
It's
yeah.
not that big. Like, how are they going to set this thing up, and how many people are going to be at this?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a miserable experience to go to.
Are they allowing? I can't imagine you can just buy a ticket.
I think that there will be a crowd there. I don't know.
I
if
think it'll
be
be a
like,
couple hundred people of like you know,
VIPs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be more than a couple hundred people. I think it'll be a decent amount. I don't know that you're just gonna be able to buy tickets to go to it. But I would say it would probably be over 1,000. But I think it's gonna be a miserable experience outdoor in the summertime in Washington D.C. The bugs. It could rain. And Matt, what happens if it rains?
Great question.
I don't know. Did you see that Centennial High School graduation in Tennessee?
No.
They had an outdoor graduation, and they were like, "It's happening, rain or shine," and it was a monsoon, and they just had kids sitting out there, just getting drenched.
Rain or shine. We said rain or shine.
And that's in Franklin, Tennessee, which is an ultra high net worth area. I imagine they pissed off a lot of people that they would not like to have pissed off.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Let's see, the White House, UFC. How many people will be there?
What other sports could you play at the White House? I guess you could do basketball if you really wanted to.
4,300 invited guests and a free public viewing event at the Ellipse that will accommodate up to 85,000 spectators.
What is the Ellipse?
So it's like it's near the National Mall.
You told me where it is.
Yeah.
I asked what it is.
So
is it like
it's
a...
part of the National Mall.
Oh, it's not
area.
like an arena or something. It's
No.
just like
They're going to project it on something,
Yeah.
I assume.
It's a park that's like right. So it's the National Mall and the White House. It's connected by the ellipse.
I don't understand these public viewing that they've been showing these for the Knicks, and I don't know where this is, by the way. Like, are they shutting down 7th Avenue?
I think it's right outside MSG.
But all outside MSG is like very busy streets. I don't know where they're doing it. But these public things where you're just jam-packed shoulder to shoulder for 3 hours watching a
I don't
game.
get it either.
I love the community of sports. It's incredible. It's one of my favorite things. I could never, ever do that.
It looks like it's on 33rd between 7th and 8th Avenue.
33rd. So
That's
they
right.
have to shut the street down
That's
then.
right by the office.
Yeah. So when I was in Montreal for the Caps Canadiens game last summer, they have like the biggest watch party right outside. They probably shut down, I don't know, like 6 blocks in Montreal, and it's just filled with people wearing Canadiens jerseys watching the game outside. It's crazy.
Yeah, they've showed a few of those, and it looks like 10 to 20,000 people out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Those the French Canadians, they know how to party.
Even if you can bring a chair, that's different than standing shoulder to shoulder.
I know. There's got to be lots of booze involved. That's the only way I can see it being tolerable and fun.
I saw a commercial because we just announced the roster for the U.S. men's national team. First of all, Big T, do you have any comments regarding who was included and who was left off of the USMNT roster?
I mean, people are talking about Diego Luna getting left off like it's an egregious. We don't. There are like 3 guys that if they were left off, I'd be like, well, that's insane.
Mhm.
And other than that, Diego Luna ain't one of them.
It would be
Who chooses?
The coach.
It's his sole. It's not like
I mean,
a board or a committee.
I'm sure there's input from other people, but it's the head coach's
his call, yeah.
decision. Yeah.
Wow, that's like big responsibility.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 3 would be Christian Pulisic.
Yes,
if
it
we
would be
left him
insane
off,
to leave
it'd be
him off,
insane.
but also like
Funny.
if we had, another winger that like, but yeah, it'd be insane to him, McKinney,
McKinney,
Robinson,
Tyler Adams,
yeah, and,
Balogun.
only due to the fact that we don't really have any other strikers.
And also, we'd probably lose him forever if we left him
Yeah.
off this team.
Yeah, but like if Tim Ream wasn't on the team,
Right. Joe Scally would be insane to leave him off.
you're a big Joe Scally guy.
Big Joe Scally guy. Are you familiar with Joe Scally?
No,
You're just familiar with Security Mike.
of course.
Security Mike's nephew.
Shut up.
Yeah, Joe Scally is on the U.S. men's national team. Yep.
Get out of here.
Your actual nephew.
Where's he from? Like
New
New York?
Yeah.
Jersey? No way.
Yeah.
Where does he play? Like
He's a
MLS?
defender.
I think he might be playing in Germany
No
or
shit.
Italy. I don't know. He's bounced around a
Isn't
little bit.
he
But he's young.
Mönchengladbach?
How has he not told me this?
I don't know.
He's the most interesting guy.
Fox
the
for
world.
Wake Up Barstool, they were like, "Hey, we're putting together. We're getting custom shoes for some of you guys to promote the World Cup. Give us like your size. Give us your like the city that you're from. Give us the name of your favorite player on the men's national team. And don't tell Mike this, but I was like, okay, yeah, my name is. I said Security Mike is my nickname. That's what they call me. My favorite player is Joe Scally. And then I found out Mike's shoe size behind the scenes. So we're gonna give him a custom set
That's
of
awesome.
World Cup Joe Scally
That's
shoes.
so sick.
Let's say Security Mike on the side.
You're a
Yeah.
good guy.
He does play for Mönchengladbach in
Okay.
Germany.
That's
So
awesome.
he's. I don't know if he's going to be a great player, but we're going to be rooting for him. And then the goalkeeper situation is kind of up in the air. We don't know if it's going to be Turner or Freeze or what.
Yeah, we thought for a while we had like a bunch of good goalies, and then it turns out we don't really have any.
Yeah, I mean Turner was pretty good in the last World Cup. I'll give him that.
That was
But
a long time ago.
He has not been playing well recently for his club side. And Freeze was pretty good in the was it the Gold Cup last year?
Yeah. Remember Zach Steffen? Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be next up.
So I bring that up because I saw a commercial the other day that was kind of like what we're talking about with the outdoor viewing experience, where it was like, what if the U.S. won the World Cup? And it was like beers were, or it was like different bars and stores were sold out of beer, and it was just a massive party in the United States. I think that's probably a little bit of a pipe dream. I do think that it'd be crazy if we won the World Cup. I don't know if like cities would shut down entirely, but I do think that there would be like we might get a federal holiday out of it. I could see, because like Barron is a big soccer guy. I could see Trump finding out from his son like, hey, this is a massive deal. Also, like he's made a big deal of the U.S. and FIFA being like hand in hand. If we won the World Cup, I think Trump gives the entire country a day off work.
I could see that. I think that's beyond a pipe dream.
Right.
I just want them to advance.
Yeah.
That will be, I mean, I remember the Women's World Cup. I don't know if you guys were here in Chicago, but they did a huge watch party in Grant Park for the semifinals and the finals, and people like went crazy. Like Grant Park was packed for it. It was a big deal.
PFT, let me ask you a question.
Give you
If
an
the
answer.
U.S. won the World Cup on Sunday, September 13th, obviously it takes place a couple months before that, but let's say it takes place on Sunday, September 13th.
Yeah.
On the same weekend as Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, 49ers, Rams,
Yeah.
Bills, Texans, Tennessee, Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you,
Alabama, Kentucky.
the NFL slate, I know it's 49ers, but that's a game in Australia. That's going to be a weird.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Bucks, Bengals, Packers, Vikings,
Okay.
Cowboys, Giants, Broncos, Chiefs. Where
Commanders, Eagles.
Commanders, Eagles.
Yeah.
On Monday morning, where is the winning the World Cup discussed?
First.
You think?
Yes.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
first.
Well,
I
yes,
think so.
winning the World
I
Cup.
think
It's
so.
first. It's the World Cup. If we won the entire fucking World Cup, it's number one. It's number.
How
it just
quick do
is.
they move off it? Does it take up the entire
Yeah,
A block?
No. I think.
Certainly not.
Wait. Who's playing Monday Night Football?
Broncos, Chiefs.
Yeah, okay. Patrick Mahomes leads on Tuesday. Yes. If Patrick Mahomes comes back and his ACL's fine or whatever, and the Chiefs win Tuesday night, yeah. Or
I wasn't even
Monday
going
night.
to Tuesday. I was saying how long on the show's on Monday morning.
I think you.
Is it the entire
Yeah,
A block?
entire A block on Monday, but then like it's the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, so it'll probably be buried like at the end of the show by Tuesday. But it will lead that first day if we win the World
Would
Cup.
it be the highest rated program on that day if it was on at the same time as the NFL
Yes.
in the U.S.?
Yes. There's a lot of people that would watch soccer if it was the U.S. in the final. It would be like soccer fever, here to stay.
Yeah. I mean, people have been saying that for years, and here we are 2 weeks out, and like I don't really think
If we
anyone
won the
cares.
World Cup,
If
though.
we won, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for years people have been saying
Sport of the future.
the 2026 World Cup is going to revolutionize sports in America.
Well, that's what they told us in 1994 when we hosted '94, and it did. Soccer got a lot bigger in 19. I'm probably I'm a '94 World Cup convert. I don't think I gave a shit about soccer until the World Cup was here in the United States.
It was awesome.
And then I watched like every game, and I was like,
you
this
still
is
kind of don't outside of national
correct.
soccer.
I don't care
Yeah.
outside of I guess you could say like international,
Which is
soccer.
a really interesting thing because I also love U.S. soccer, but you get so few opportunities.
That's kind of that's what I like about it. I don't have to fill up my calendar.
Right.
But when I'm into it, you get. I think it's a combination of you get. I do like soccer. I like watching soccer at a high level, and also you get the flags and the geography, which I'm a fan of. Big fan of maps. So when you combine those two of my interests, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can give you 3 weeks of my life. So yeah, I'm pumped. And also, there's just so many games. I think I said this on Wake Up Barstool. I'm going to give you a little betting tip. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not good at betting. I just want to lead off with that. I'm not good at gambling. I've lost a lot of money gambling. I'm going to bet every single tie in the opening round of the World Cup. So in the group stage, I'm betting every game to be a tie this year.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that you always get weird ties between teams that are much better and teams that get like one emotional goal, and then they just have all their players play defense and they pack the box. They call it parking the bus, and they just play like solid defense and
All right.
they tie the game 1-1.
I like that strategy.
You get weird ties in the group stage.
I like that strategy.
So I'm seeing most of these hover between +2 and 300.
Yeah.
Germany, Curacao, I can give you 18 to 1 on a draw.
That won't see. There's some that they definitely will not be draws, but
If it does.
But what if it was?
So how many first round games are there?
Well, there's a difference where it's like this time we got 48 teams in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I have a question.
So I don't know how that math works. I'm not a math guy.
I have
You're way better at
Well,
that kind of math than I
every
am.
team plays 3 games, but then like they're in the same games, so it's not. I don't know how many games it is.
I have a question. Why does FIFA not open up this World Cup with a U.S. game? Like, it's what is it, Brazil, Egypt? Is that the opening game?
No, I
it's
think
gotta
it's
be Mexico.
Mexico.
Right? Mexico.
It's one of the host countries. I think it's Mexico.
Oh,
or
all
it
right.
might be Canada, actually.
Okay.
I think it's Canada.
But it's not us. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense then. Okay.
Yeah, no, the host country always plays the first game, which it should be us. I don't know why it isn't, but
All right.
it's one of them.
That was a question. And then have you guys heard, this is probably common knowledge to real soccer fans, but the FIFA like requirements, what they're doing in these stadiums,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, and in terms of what? There's a lot that could mean.
going in. And so my friend like runs a company that has a suite
Covering
in
up all
Foxborough.
the ads.
No, taking everything down off like the
Yeah.
walls and in everywhere.
They're not even calling them the names of the stadium. It's
Yeah,
like the
throughout-
Atlanta Stadium.
Throughout the concourses, in the suites, there can't be any NFL anything, any team anything. They're literally like taking everything down, putting everything FIFA up.
It is
and-
crazy.
And
The
that's it.
Falcons had to get special permission to not have to cover up, the roof on Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It has that like camera shutter enclosure
Right,
that when it closes, it has the Mercedes logo.
right.
And FIFA's like, you have to cover that. And they're like, well, that's going to be really hard to do because it's on the roof,
Right.
and we would have to. And they went through a whole thing, and finally FIFA was like, okay, I think that's the only corporate logo that will be uncovered during
That's
the whole World Cup.
crazy.
That isn't an official.
They
FIFA
probably had to pay
sponsor.
up for
Yeah,
it. too.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
FIFA, they know how to make money. They know how to take bribes. They're the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, they swing a big stick.
They do. Yeah. So not only that, they also are installing like grass fields,
Mm-hmm.
making all the
That's
football
smart.
stadiums put in grass.
Oh, in the turf stadiums?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
No
you can't,
way.
The players won't play on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them, but I didn't know that they could even do that.
Well, they would they've got you fooled. That's what they've been saying to like the NFLPA for you, because every NFL player wants to play on grass,
right.
And the stadiums are just like, yeah, we can't do it. Sorry, but then FIFA comes in and they're like, hey, these need to be grass, and they're like, yes, sir, yes, sir, right
Wow.
away, sir, yes, Mr. Gino.
I did not know that.
Uh-huh.
If the NFLPA had any sway at all,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a major sticking point.
Just like leave them. Yeah, all you have to do is just leave the grass there. Just don't take the grass out. But I'm very excited for the opening match. Is Mexico against South Africa. Same game that was in South Africa
They played Mexico?
to open up the World Cup. I believe that was a tie.
Well, they scored first, right? South Africa did.
It
And
was,
that was a huge deal.
it was a massive goal, 1-1 tie, I believe. But that would have been one that would have probably paid out like 5-1.
Yeah. at
South
least.
Africa against Mexico. And there will be 72 opening round games.
Okay.
So my experiment will be to
So you're going to need to go 20 and 52 probably?
I need 20 ties. Let's see. We need to see how many ties, like the tie percentage.
If you get some big ones though, it'll offset
Yeah.
a lot of those L's.
Yeah, I'm sure that, the gambling people are smarter than me. They've thought through these scenarios before, but that's just going to be my strategy. Plus, that way I can if I'll be watching a lot of games I don't care about, and there'll be a goal, and then I'll be like, oh, I get to root for Sweden now. Oh, I get to root for Switzerland now. It'd be fun. All right. Anything else we want to get into today? That was a good episode. I like talking with you and Jerry, Dante.
Oh, it was great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Just real quick, where do you fall on bat dogs? Did you see the bat dog incident?
Yeah, you got to have your head on a swivel. If you know there's a dog there, you can't be mad.
So
at-
you think it's the guy's fault?
Yeah.
Wow.
The dog. You think it's the dog's fault?
100. The Tulsa Drillers, they're suspending the bat dog program. They announced today.
Well, that's not the dog's fault. The dog was doing what it was taught to do.
which is the problem, which is why it needs to be removed.
There's no such thing as bad dogs, just bad owners.
Great point.
There might be a few bad dogs out there.
I can only imagine the phone call that the Dodgers gave to the Tulsa Drillers and just the reaming out that happened.
How bad was you want to just explain the entire thing?
Yeah, a player for the Tulsa Drillers, forgive me, I have briefly misplaced his name, Kendall George. I believe he's the number 9 prospect in the Dodger system, really good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's having an awesome year. He scored on a play and is running into the dugout, and the bat dog for the team is running out to get the bat, and he has to swerve to avoid him, and I think suffered, they think, like a pretty bad injury to his knee, trying to avoid the bat dog careening out of the dugout.
Yeah, that's not the dog's fault. That's just a freak accident.
It is the fault of the people who have the dog in place of a bat boy.
I mean, if you give me the choice, I'm taking the dog all day.
So that's what I'm and I said this, the upside of the bat dog is maybe a few dozen people chuckle in the first inning and there's no reaction the rest of the game. The downside is the number 9 prospect in your system suffers a serious injury.
Nobody could have seen this coming.
I don't remember this ever happening before.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you going to suspend the Bat Dog program? Or are you going to cancel the Bat Dog program?
That's what they said. I'm told the Tulsa Drillers are planning to suspend their Bat Dog program after Kendall George's freak injury this week. Dodgers still waiting on a final medical opinion per source, but fear he suffered a patellar injury.
That's
a shame.
That's bad. That's a kneecap.
That's a
a
really bad
shame.
one. Now, he should have looked where he was going. Is he afraid of dogs?
The dog. Have you seen the video?
I have seen the
video.
video.
The dog comes darting out of the dugout.
Yeah. Well, that's what dogs do.
Has a duty, doing his job. That sucks too, because that dog is like a team mascot. The players all love him.
It just wants to do its job.
Not Kendall George.
It just wants to. Well, you know what? That's another thing. It's like,
shame.
how long had Kendall George been with the team?
Right.
Probably not that long. You probably didn't have a close relationship.
You think
with
the
that
dog wouldn't have done this to someone else?
A dog that it was familiar with.
Well,
or a
maybe the
human that
dog
was
should be a
familiar with.
little more familiarized with the top 30 prospects in the organization and only go after some guys that are hitting 180.
I don't know. I would go the other way. I would think about calling this dog up to the big leagues, because this dog, it tells me that you always hear managers be like, I don't care what number you got on your back. I don't care if your name is Ohtani or if it's Smith or Jones. Everyone's got to earn their starting spot. This dog seems like it treats everybody the exact same. No star treatment.
George has played 43 games with the Tulsa Drillers all this season.
Okay. And what position does he play?
He is an outfielder.
Okay. So I'm just wondering who on the Dodgers benefits from this. Follow the money.
Hitting .333 this year.
Yeah. So somebody wanted him.
Doesn't matter. He's not coming up in that organization.
They might have been a trade piece in a big trade this year.
An asset.
Might have turned into Yordan Alvarez in a deal. It's a shame.
All right. Well, I'm in favor of dogs on sports teams. Sorry, that's just I'm not going to change my mind on that.
All right. I mean, how many people have to lose their kneecaps? I guess
at least 5 more.
Okay.
I can tolerate up to 6 in a season.
You should take your case to Eddie. Eddie will agree.
Eddie
will agree with you.
Eddie's big time. Like, yeah, I've been saying this for years.
I love dogs, but that's not the place.
I don't know if you do.
When you say I love dogs, but you don't really love dogs.
Yeah, I agree.
It's unconditional. I love dogs, period.
Agreed.
Even when they do bad stuff?
Yeah, especially when they do bad
stuff. If a dog
stuff.
killed someone, you still love that dog?
It depends on who they killed.
Killed one of your friends. Killed your best friend.
Were they asking for it?
Ridiculous hypothetical.
Yeah, like if somebody's breaking into my house and Blake grabbed them by the throat.
Not Blake, a dog you don't know.
Oh, a stranger dog?
Yeah.
Just killed one of my friends outside my house?
Sure.
I'd have to.
You said you love all dogs.
Case by case. Well, that's not a real dog. You have to give me.
Sure, it is.
You have to give me a real dog. Do I love Hitler's dog, Blondie?
Well, now you're blaming innocent parties.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Unless you put forth the theory that some do with Max, the Grinch's dog, that he is actually the cause of the evil.
That
Whoa, I've never heard this one.
Oh, this is a big thing.
Well,
You
go
need
on.
to break this down for me. I never heard this one.
There are people who claim that the Grinch's dog Max is actually the source of all the evil because let me refamiliarize myself.
Okay. Like pulling the strings behind the scenes?
Yeah, there's a really good post online about it. Yeah, I can't find it, but just know that there are people out there who believe Max to be a bad dog.
I think that's misassigning the blame. I think that's a sad state of modern affairs where no one can take accountability anymore. You hated the Who's. Deal with it. Don't blame it on your dog. You know, like Son of Sam blamed it on his dog.
Really?
Yeah. He said that a dog was talking to him, told him to kill all those people. Because no one can stand up, raise their hand, and say, I'm a bad guy. You got to blame it on your dog now. I stand with that bat dog. What was his name?
I don't
You
know.
don't even know
I
the
don't
name
know
of the
that I
bat
ever
dog.
saw his name.
Bat dog driller's name. Let's see. It's probably a cute name. The Nats have a cute pup, too. Its name is Natty. Natty's a boy. The bat dogs for the Tulsa Drillers are named Floki and Mia. So they've got two different.
Well, which one is?
We need to find
killing
out.
their players.
And did they suspend both of them? And if so, why is Mia paying for the sins of Floki or vice versa? There's a lot of questions that I have about this. I'm going to wait for more facts to come out. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week on Macrodosing. Thanks to Jerry O'Connell for joining. Thanks to Dante for joining. Great conversation. Look forward to diving into the rest of that list at some other point, Dante, because I think we went about like 4 for 9 on the topics that you sent over, so we got a lot more to get into.
Thanks, fellas.
All right. Love you guys.